Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ring Post Radio, the only show where I have to talk my co-host off the ledge. I'm your host, Ryan Knightsey, and with me, as always, is the man, the myth, the legend, Scotty Edwards. Scotty, how are you doing on this fine Monday morning?
I wasted 4 hours of my life last night. Sorry, 4.5. We had to go overtime for bullshit.
Oh, you
Otherwise,
you,
I'm
you,
great.
you don't watch Zero Hour? You didn't watch Zero Hour then? You weren't locked in?
I think I watched 0 Hour during the actual show, so like it all just made it into the 4.5.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
I'm great.
Fair.
I'm great. I wasted my time last night. I'm
So
tired.
you loved it, is what you're saying.
That's a word. But I don't have to watch it ever again now, so it's fine. It's over.
Mm-hmm.
This show moving forward just got very interesting because it's a one-sided AEW conversation moving forward. Tough.
Well, to provide context for everybody home, of course, Scotty last night was watching MLW Battle Riot 7. He was locked in to Paul Walter Housing and Bishop Dyer making his debut. So he was locked in. Austin Aries on commentary. He's back in the wrestling universe.
I will admit, I will stand here and admit I did put it on for 5 minutes.
Really? Really? I didn't watch a single second of it. I saw a picture.
I was playing a game and I said, "Oh, let me put this on for a second." And I was like, "Holy shit, this is awful."
That's crazy.
It reminds you of the bad wrestling, but I don't need to watch MLW to remind me of bad wrestling. AEW's got that covered these days. But yeah, I did watch it. I did watch part of it, and it was bad. They had Baron Corbin, Paul London,
Bishop Dyer, please, sir.
Chris
Sir,
Masters.
I'm gonna have to pause you. Bishop Dyer, how dare you, sir?
I gotta prove a point. They had Baron Corbin, Paul London, Chris Masters, and Jinder Mahal in there. If that isn't entertainment, I don't know what is.
What is this? What is this? A blood sport show? Hachi machi. Ooh, spicy. That's a spicy.
Worse. It's SmackDown versus Raw 2008, but it's the bad wrestlers.
At least Battle Riot isn't bringing on like current WWE roster members. It's all ones from 2009 for some reason.
I don't think that's better, by the way. Just saying.
Yeah, we'll talk about this more when it comes to like the WrestleMania week stuff. But like, I think like as of right now, it looks like 7 of the 11 Bloodsport matches all have WWE wrestlers in them, and I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
It's crazy that it became the like WWE show, but I don't know. In some ways, that's interesting at least. But it's just funny that it's in shoot style.
Yeah. Well,
well, you get the point. Like the idea is shoot style, and it's all WWE wrestlers. It's very funny.
Yeah. It's all like the shooters. It's the shooter crew. It's Shayna Baszler. It's Natty.
There is something very funny about Carmen Petrovic beating Micah, though, that I can't.
Yeah, that's actually also a good question. Of those 7, are any of them losing? Like in a blood sport style where these people can get hit by an errant kick and get knocked out, right? And they're not pinned or anything. They're not tapping out or anything.
How many of them actually lose?
How many? I could see like Natalya losing, right? Like I could see like maybe that.
Yeah, which is funny because I feel like she's probably the lock to win because she's the main roster.
I also agree. I also agree. So it's fucking dumb. And it's
I will say this. My one joke. There's officially more WWE versus Stardom matches than WWE versus Marigold matches. I'll see you next week. Thank you. That was not my joke. That was Alex's joke, but it was a good joke,
perfect.
and I'm using it.
That is a good joke. That is a good joke.
True. And true.
And sadly, Scotty, factually true. So I don't know if that's bad for the Marigold partnership or bad for the AEW Stardom partnership, but or none of it matters and no one cares. So
I'm gonna guess it's that one.
Well, welcome everybody to Ring Post Radio, of course. Thank you for joining us on this Monday morning. Obviously, we're in sort of the wonky times where there's an AEW pay-per-view, or at least there's going to be like a big time pay-per-view on Sunday night. And so instead of doing our show Sunday morning, since we're both free, we'll do it on Monday. We're gonna do the same thing for WrestleMania weekend, anyways. So we appreciate you all for joining us this Monday, talking about professional wrestling. And of course, what we're going to talk about today, of course, that show that was last night, AEW Dynasty, taking place in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Big time show for them, of course, and we'll talk all at length about it. New Japan Sakura Genesis also had a big time show over in Japan, of course, that we'll talk about as well. And obviously, they have a preview. We'll start talking about the preview for an upcoming show this week, Windy City Riot in Chicago, Illinois. That's also looking like a very interesting show as well for New Japan.
Interesting.
There are, of course, other things that happen in the world of professional wrestling, but I know us, Scotty, and I know Dynasty is going to take up at a minimum an hour of discussion, like it always typically does, like AEW always typically does for us. And I think, not only because they have a big pay-per-view in terms of like actual match size, so there's just like genuinely a lot to talk about. But I think like last night, and knowing the stakes that you set yourself up for on the last show, and when I say you set yourself up for, I will give you the grace, Scotty, and say
they did too. They set it up for me.
Yes, I'll say this now. I said previously on the show that like I blame fans for the expectations of Darby coming back and facing Moxley at Revolution and them all getting upset. And I thought that was like, that's on fan expectation. In some ways, it's happened again with Swerve to a certain degree. I think you're a famous example of that, and I think you're about to talk about that to a point. And I think that's like a fair point. I think fans expected that again. It obviously did not happen. Spoilers, and it didn't happen. But, there's a famous adage, Scotty, that I think you can agree with, and this will tee you up, I think. Fool me once, blame on you or whatever. Fool me twice, or, blame on me or whatever. The idea, shame on you or whatever. That, I can blame the fans for fans' expectations of Darby the first time. The fact that it's happened twice in this title reign now isn't great. With, of course, Swerve losing in the main event to Moxley, with the Young Bucks making the return to stop him. Scotty, what'd you think about the main event?
Fucking sucked. The match sucked. Oh, okay. You know the shame on me, shame on you thing. If they didn't have the all-in ads, right? The new all-in ad they debuted this week, where it's heavily focused around Hangman Page as for Strickland. Maybe people wouldn't have had as high hopes. But we got to the point where we were telling this story, and little did I know it was to go the worst possible direction. Yeah, I'm not even kidding when I say I have zero interest in this promotion after the main event. Zero. This is the lowest point. This is worse than the MJF title reign. This is awful. I
have to stop.
I disagree. I'm not even kidding.
MJF was so fucking bad.
This is the second dud in a row for a main event for me.
I can concede.
I am shoot angry. MJF was like, all right, this guy sucks. But this is shoot anger.
I can concede that MJF had better matches during the reign, but the in-betweens I thought were so much worse. Whereas this is largely boring, which to agree is worse. But I'm not there yet, obviously, but go ahead.
I don't know in what world Jon Moxley decided, what if I had heatless bloodline matches? But that is the world we live in. I saw all I've seen, past like ever since it ended was like, why are we having bloodline matches? I'm like, these aren't bloodline matches. Bloodline matches have heat. These have nothing. Nothing. For the majority of this match, the crowd was like, we want to cheer for Swerve, but nothing's happening. Like, that was this match. And that, oh my God.
They're boring.
So many.
We can both agree on this. They're boring.
So boring. And when you have a shit finish, it makes it so much worse. At least this is the benefit of the doubt I was giving it from the start of the match. I was like, at least if Swerve wins this, it's whatever. I can move on in my life and be fine. But no, I think they gave me the worst possible finish in every single direction. They tease the Hangman stuff, right? Oh, he's going to make the right decision. Then they bring out this, and then they have them all get fought off, and then the lights go out. And I'm just sitting there, and my eyes couldn't have rolled into the back of my head more for what was about to happen. You know how I feel about the guys that don't come to work to begin with. And all I was doing while I was sitting there was saying, CM Punk was right. They do that every time these guys show up now. This match sucked. And you said to me, right? You know, it's a good thing the women's division got better so that Chris Jericho always has the worst match. Well, I have one up for you. It's a good thing that Chris Jericho somehow isn't as bad because Jon Moxley has made sure to always have the worst match. Why? Because the main event of the show is the most important match of the show. And when you leave people upset out of it each and every time, that is way worse to me. Way worse to me. And the Jericho stuff, we'll talk about the Jericho stuff because that was awful. Somehow not the worst finish in my eyes. Somehow an incredible accomplishment. You're getting me at a point. And by the way, speaking of the Jericho finish, oh, we can reset the match. Someone was cheating. What was there not cheating in the main event? We can't see that.
Oh yeah,
they ruined it.
That's wrestling logic that we just have to throw away.
I know, but wrestling logic pissed me off, especially last night. You're right, because that is forever how this goes.
AEW forgets so much wrestling logic nowadays. It sucks.
But it's just so funny because it happened 3 matches before. It's like the lights went out. You didn't notice the lights?
Scotty, to be fair, Bandito's mother was not watching the main event. So she couldn't come in and say
Bandito's mother has to be out there for every match moving forward.
Maybe
Bandito's to bring some integrity to this great sport.
Maybe Bandito's mother is the new AEW commissioner.
Maybe they should put her in Imperium because Imperium was always about for the love of this great sport. Maybe that is what Bandito's mother's all about. Bringing integrity to this sport. She should be watching every Jon Moxley main event moving forward to save us.
Bandito's mother is the new Gorilla Monsoon, commissioner of the WWF.
That's a good one.
If I could Photoshop that image so quickly.
I have so much anger from that main event. Like, I watched that match and I was like, legitimately, I know what I said last week. Even if I didn't say that, I was done. Like, do you want to know how done I was, Ryan?
Scotty, I know you've been slowly going to this
It gets worse.
Since CM Punk, really. But
I put my spring breakthrough tickets up for sale. That's how mad I was.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, I put them up for a high price because my friend who I plan to go with doesn't know this yet. I was
that's,
like, you know,
that's even crazier.
He's gonna make me take him down. It's fine. It's
genuinely
fine, right?
Insane behavior, Scotty.
Hey, listen. I was ready to make a buck. Okay.
Aren't we? Well, in your defense, the stock market is crashing, baby. Everything's going to plan.
Yes. This match. So the match wasn't good. It was boring. It was a snooze fest. It was everything that's bad about a bloodline match without any of the heat, right? You add in the Young Bucks. This didn't make sense. They ran away from the company because we don't want to deal with Jon Moxley and the Elite and whatever, or not the Elite. That's them. They don't want to deal with the Death Riders. Remember, they just kind of disappeared. They lost their titles and disappeared. They never really wanted to deal with that, and now they're costing Swerve. Why? And I know this is like, we'll answer this on AEW Dynamite. I don't want to see AEW Dynamite. I'm done. I'm finished. Bandito's mother either needs to be here at all times or I'm done. Because she, like you said, is the one good voice left. Also, last thing before I let you go, because obviously you need to have your thoughts as the AEW defender here. Jon Moxley, finished. Done. This guy is no longer a guy that we're giving maybe he'll have a... No, he's bad. His match style is boring. He doesn't do anything. This guy went from, as I've seen multiple people say, a perennial wrestler of the year candidate like 2-3 years in a row to this in record time. Why? How? It's awful. It's awful. Bryan Danielson ended his career for this. He's part of the blame too, by the way, because he picked Jon Moxley to be the one that beat him. Oh, and I saw PW Insider report he was there. I was like, oh, good. I'm so happy he was there. If this all leads to Darby, this is even worse. I just want you to know that. Like, I'm not even going to sit here and be like, oh, Will Ospreay could probably beat him at All In. No. Why should I believe that?
At this rate, we got to believe that Will Ospreay is making it to the finals of the Owen and losing. I mean, to be honest, come on. We can't. I've laid it out. He's the 2019 Cody Rhodes of 2025 AEW.
I saw people try to call this Cody versus Roman from WrestleMania 39. It's not that. It's so much worse. Because there's no energy now moving forward. I don't care who beats this guy. This sucked. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm breaking up with you, AEW. Shout out to John Cena. Oh, God. Also, no, I'm not done. I'm not.
I know for a fact you were done. That's why I wasn't saying anything.
This is an AEW problem. But in the middle of a WrestleMania build where everyone is saying it's lackluster for the majority, right? They had a chance to take...
Where AEW is currently building in the ratings and attendance.
Correct. AEW had a chance to take it. They had a chance to take it and build off of this and win people over. And they said, no. They said, how about we just stick to the plan? What's a pivot in the world of 2025?
Yeah, to that point, I'm truly fascinated what Dynamite is going to be on Wednesday, ratings wise. What is the fallout of this pay-per-view?
I'm sure it doesn't change that much.
Because obviously, AEW can tout, Moxley is the world champion currently, obviously, and so there's ratings draw conversation you can have about that, and the Cope match was a draw, right? The spike spot was a draw, right? It was a ratings draw. So it's you can make the argument okay, it's currently working. I could also maybe make an argument that maybe fans are reinterested in AEW because they can see maybe Swerve becoming champion in the end of this. And if Dynamite on Wednesday and subsequent Dynamites fall, then it's people were interested in Swerve. People were not interested in Mox. They were coming back because they thought it would be Swerve. Obviously, that's something we can open up and discuss next week, depending on the ratings. But that would be an interesting. I'm very interested to see what that fallout would look like.
I hope they tank.
Yeah, I know for a fact there's one less viewer. To be clear, I know for a fact you're also not watching live, and you watch 5 days later, so it doesn't matter in any capacity for them for their numbers. So
I would watch it on Friday or Saturday on Max.
Yeah,
so I was never a number.
Yeah, you're truly not a number that they're counting to begin with, I guess, to be fair. But
I'm part of the numbers that got debated a week ago or something.
No, I don't think because I think those numbers were same day plus 1, I think. I don't think those numbers were 6 days later.
I don't count. So Lord knows they're not booking for me anyways.
Well, yeah. Well, they could have been booking for you if you're watching live, I guess. Because a part of that was Tony Khan's yeah, I do listen to the fans, but pretty much I'm
bullshit.
Well, no. Again, he's I do listen to the fans, but I mainly focus on ratings, attendance, and pay-per-view buys and stuff. He's I'm looking at the analytics and the data, and this is telling me where to go. Obviously, fan reaction is something to listen to, but I'm looking at the data. So again, they're not listening to you because you're not part of their data.
What is this, WWE?
Apparently.
When did this become WWE? Oh, we listen to the data.
I know. I thought that was just an insane statement to make.
How do we live in a world where the pivot that actually made sense for the fans was Jay fucking Uso?
That's also Never us as a promoter, never say that. Like because it's like I am listening
No,
to fans,
no,
but I'm
don't
also
say
not.
that.
I'm also really not listening to the fans.
That's like doing the WWE thing a few years ago when they were like in the absolute tank and they're like, we're gonna listen to you, and then just proceeded to never ever do that.
Yeah,
Like, remember that? At least he didn't say that, I guess.
yeah. It is it is to be fair to Tony Khan. It is a catch
Yeah,
22 because
he did give like
he can't
background
say
as to
I'm
what I'm
listening.
listening.
He can't. Tony Khan can't say that I'm listening to the fans when all of the fans online are talking about how much the Death Rider storyline sucks.
I only see like one or two positive things about the Death Riders, and most of the time when it's over, it's like, guys, this is all part of the plan. That's all they ever say. They never say it was good. They just say it's part of the plan. What plan?
Yeah, I mean,
No shit, it's part of the plan. That's why they keep booking it.
I guess I should bring this up because I'm going to bring this up in regards to another moment on the show. And so, in terms of consistency, I feel like I should bring this up that, like, this to a degree, this reaction that you are having, that a lot of people are having, that I'm sort of
We call it
having as well.
crashing out where I'm from.
Yeah, crashing out in this moment. To a degree, having the heel win and this happen, and to be your reaction to a degree is good, right? Like I'm saying that, Scotty, because I
I know
have to
what
be
you're
consistent
saying. Like,
on a
yeah,
point later.
I know what you're saying. I understand that. I've
But I
talked about
think,
this.
but it's something that we talk about in wrestling discussion. I think we talk about on the show a lot that there are degrees to that. This is all
Yes.
shades of gray.
Yes.
Yes, black and white. If you look at a heel winning the main event match, not only that, but also having heels return to the show, cost the big time babyface the match so that the other heel can win.
Yes.
This sort of reaction that you're having, Scotty,
Yes.
would be considered money, and that is exactly what you want to do. The problem is that I know that, like, you're not really reacting to
I'm
you
not
all.
I'm not reacting to John Moxley's heel work.
No, you're not. You're correct. You're not reacting to, like, it's just weird. You're not really reacting to, like, the story per se. You're
No.
reacting to the lack of it, or the lack
Yes.
of something. The something. Which again, I maybe is the idea. At this point, we have to consider: is that the idea? It's
Not a good one, man.
it's not good. I think at the end of the day, it's like look, yeah, I think that's a good point. I think to make it more simpler, as everyone in English dictionary world would say, um, this reaction that you're having, that a lot of people are having, Scotty, that I'm having to a certain degree, less so than you, is, I think, a reaction that they wanted to go for. But even a bad story told can still create a emotional reaction for people. I think I think a good response, a good similarity that I think I can draw from here, Scotty, is um, a movie with an extremely great villain that you just despise, and you want to see get their comeuppance, and you want to
Yes.
see them fall, and you're rooting for the hero, right?
Yes.
And when that hero wins and triumphs, or more importantly, if that hero gets into that dark night of the soul region where they lose and have to come back up even stronger to beat the villain, you feel for the hero and you want to see that villain lose. Instead, it's almost like we're watching, I don't know if you saw the movie The Electric State, where it's like, instead, this is just like a bad movie being told poorly, and everyone involved is not doing really great work, and it's dragging everyone down. And I say that, Scotty, knowing my wife worked on the movie and it was awful. And she will admit as well that the movie sucks ass.
Listen. They want this story to be Infinity War into Endgame, and it's like you said, Electric State or whatever the fuck it's called. Like, there's not even a comparison. One movie is like just unbelievable storytelling, and the other one is shit.
Yeah, it's not great.
Directed by the same people?
Yes.
Look at me.
We brought this up last night. Separate tangent. Do you think Doomsday will be good? I really don't.
Oh no.
I really don't know. I truly do not know.
Because like they gotta pivot like the whole story to make it make sense how we get there, right?
Yeah.
Because everything else was building to a different Avengers movie. So I don't know yet.
Yeah, I think Doomsday is what we should title this Dynasty pay-per-view. Instead of Dynasty, it's Doomsday. It's like I don't know if actually this was gonna be good. Was it successful? Oh yeah, Doomsday is gonna be successful. There's no doubt about that. But whether or not it's good, it could be filled with AI slop for all I know. It probably will based on the Russo brothers conversations. But anyways, but enough about that. I'm talking about Dynasty. Yeah, I thought the main event wasn't great. I don't think it was the worst match on the card, in my opinion, because I thought to me the Daniel Garcia and Adam Cole match sucked even more because that was just like 15 minutes of boring shit that I really did not like. And here I had a little bit more interest. In fact, Scotty, I had to do when I was looking at the ratings and looking at the entire like ratings I put in for Dynasty, I was like sitting here looking at the main event being like, what fucking rating do I give this main event? Because it is so not diverse is not the word, but it's so people are back and forth about it.
Polarizing.
Polarizing is a good word. So I
didn't. If it helps, I didn't hesitate with mine.
Oh, I know. I saw you gave it a dud. I went to the old shite rating system, of course. Speed, heat, interest, technique, and excitement.
There's a lot of none of that.
I'll give you the ratings I gave it, and I know you'll probably be even harsher, but I gave it on a scale of 0 to 1. I gave it a quarter for speed. Well, because at the end of the day, if you got a 1 in every single category, it's a 5-star match, right?
A quarter might be high for speed. How long was that match?
31 minutes and 14 seconds.
Holy!
But it had a little more. It had a little more oomph. Like I would do speed. I don't know. It's a weird one. It had a lot more oomph than the international 3-way. For some reason. Heat. I went 0.5 with each other because it was like there is heat, but then they started the match with fucking grapple fucks. It's like, what are we doing? Interest. We had interest, but there was a certain degree of I need to protect myself. 0.75. Technique. I think the wrestling ability was fine, right? Like I don't think it was like awful, right? It to the extent of comparing it to a bloodline match, Scotty, right? Like it's not a bloodline match where they're just walking around the ring talking the entire match. So 0.75 is what I gave it. An excitement based off the crowd, 0.5. I thought the crowd was, for some regards, into this main event. For half of it. That's why I went 0.5. And it ended up being a 2.75. And that might be a little too high now that I think about it. But yeah, I thought the main event itself was fine in terms of the actual work. The result, my friends watching me in real time have the lights go out, the Young Bucks show up, and I'm like, oh no, I messaged you, oh shit, knowing that what's about to happen, it's upsetting. I think at the end of the day, that's really what it is, and I know that's how you are as well, as you just laid out. The finish is upsetting. Obviously,
did you read the description to this episode?
Oh yeah, I tweeted it out already. Yeah, I'm not defending this result, Scotty. I'm not. I can't defend this result. I disagree. I
didn't know what you were gonna do overall. So.
Yeah, that's fair.
I expected you to defend the show, not the result.
No, this right now I think is the lowest rated AEW show of the year for me. I'm sure it probably is for you. Yeah. Yeah, I think it is officially the lowest rated. It's 16th so far of my show of the years. 16th over everything. That is my lowest rated AEW pay-per-view. It is behind Grand Slam Australia. A decent chunk away from Grand Slam Australia. Yeah, I can't defend the main event. Main event finish. I think it was bad. Obviously, there's a level of us setting up those expectations, but as we said, this has been a theme with this storyline: is us begging for this store this Death Riders thing to end, and it just is unable to die. And again, at a certain point, I have to look back at all of this, Scotty, and be like, Stockholm syndrome myself, and be like, maybe this is the point. Maybe this is the fucking big brain heel shit that Moxley is trying to bring into this storyline of like the meta thing of we want
meta is great.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm making fun of. It's like the big brain shit of like we want people to actively think this is bad. Same thing with the John Cena shit. Is we want people to think this is actually bad. Weeks later, months into this storyline of John Cena, months into the Death Riders. Okay, no, I think it's actually just bad. You know what? I think doing something actively bad is actually just bad.
So you know what's funny? You know what's funny you bring that up? This week I saw pure praise for the John Cena promo. I still haven't seen praise for this match.
No, I haven't seen praise for that. But you know what I'm saying? It's like people. We talked about it as in week one.
One of the stories had a pivot, very clearly story wise. Like they went from, oh, it's actually not you people. It's actually I fucking hate you, Cody Rhodes. And this story, I don't know if there's been pivots along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Young Bucks, I feel like, who knows? That could be part of just an addition because I don't know.
Well, the Young Bucks, I think, are spinning out. I think to me, it's very obvious we are heading towards All In Texas, the Young Bucks versus Paige and Swerve.
Who wants that? Who asked for that? Not me.
I don't know. I don't know. I'll say this. It's an interesting match. I think in any other year, I'll be like, yeah, that sounds interesting.
Sure.
But,
yeah.
But right now it is no. I'm good.
I'll say this to you. After the three-way, right, yeah, which I thought was really good, and we'll talk about it. I said to a friend who listens to this show, they are one result away from having Hangman versus Swerve and Okada versus Omega as your top two for All In. They finally might have figured out what a big stadium top of the line card feels like.
Yeah. You know what? You know what's another thing to add into like that sort of issue? Because then it's like, well, the Young Bucks have to be on the show, right? You can say whatever you want. The Young Bucks have to be at All In Texas. Who are the Young Bucks gonna face? Right? It then becomes a problem, additional problem of the tag team division, a thing you and I have been harking on for a century now.
Then speaking of commentary,
what we'll get to them. We'll get to that victory lap that we have been on for the past couple months. But it goes back to like the tag team division issues of just like. Yeah. The Young Bucks need to face a big time person. And honestly, Scotty,
why didn't they just face the champions?
I don't know. I don't know, because to me, that's the obvious match you do for the Young Bucks. People they've never wrestled. I don't think, well, I guess they could maybe have wrestled Shelton Benjamin in New Japan. I don't know. I think they might have. They probably did. But they definitely didn't wrestle Bobby Lashley. And the Hurt Syndicate is it's a little cooling off, but I would still say a hot act. And they're turning face. Obviously, they faced a heel team on this show.
Yeah.
And they're feuding with MJF. They're baby faces. Why not just do the Young Bucks? And I'm not going to say
I can give you a reason.
Go ahead.
Because AEW is where the best politic.
Oh my God.
This whole show just feels like a lot of politicking going on. Like when it's over, oh, well, Jericho, Lord knows there was a lot of politicking going on. You know what's my favorite part about the Jericho thing, just so I could say it before I forget it, that the Observer reported, oh, yeah, there was difficulty from Bandito's management team. I was like, all right, Jericho, I appreciate the comments. I wonder why. Maybe because the finish sucked, buddy.
I will respond to that by saying Tony Khan did say that part of the reason the match didn't get announced so quickly is because they were trying to get Bandito's family in town for the match. So
thank God they did. He would have lost otherwise.
Good point.
They should have kept him out there for the main event.
Yeah. So Yes, that Jericho
right
could
there.
also be a part of it, but according to Tony Khan, it is that he's heavily implying that it was the family, travel, whatever, trying to bring them in.
Still stupid.
Yeah, we'll get to that finish. But again, another finish where it's like, I mean, look, to a certain degree, I sat here thinking about that match more and more, and I'm like, you know what? I mean, other than how they did the Dusty finish,
Yeah.
I mean, it fucking got me, bro. I mean, I gotta give it up to just Jericho because I got fucking got. My friends saw me crashing out. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Like, the problem is the Dusty finish was bad. Had they had a good Dusty finish,
yeah, how they went about it is really stupid. We'll talk about that more.
The match restarted and Jericho lost. Like, it was not even like a hesitation. It was very funny.
My wife was like, "Oh yeah, he did. They restarted and he lost like a minute later." I was like, "Well, to be fair, I don't think a Dusty finish has ever restarted a match and then they gone another 10. I don't think that's ever happened. It's always like immediately the match restarts and immediately it ends." Anyways, yeah. So I'm not going to say here that they're randomly adding the Young Bucks back in because Young Bucks were around and like not helping stop the Death Riders when they were starting and all these sort of things. So there is like some relation to the Young Bucks and the Death Riders and all these sort of things as two evil groups acting separately, right? So I'm not going to say that. It just is. It's very disappointing. And I think at the end of the day, the biggest disappointment, obviously, here, Scotty, is like I said, Young Bucks versus Swerve and Page. In any other year, that's interesting, right? In any other year, that's a fun match. Any other time period, that's a fun match. The bigger issue, Scotty, we talked about this months ago, of no fucking way at this point are they going to find a way to stretch out Death Riders to July.
And
Scotty, they are stretching out Death Riders to July. Yes, I guess we have another pay-per-view and Moxley could lose the title to fucking somebody. He's not going to. We're stretching this to at least July. We have to start questioning whether or not it's going past because July he's going to face either Will Ospreay or probably the wild card.
I've decided if the wild card isn't Darby, which I'm only going to say because I could just see them feed Dave fake information. Because that's who reported it, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be Jack Perry, and it's gonna be so much worse.
If it's Jack Perry, which it does make sense because he's facing Adam Page, that would be dumb.
Jack Perry versus Kyle Fletcher doesn't work.
The only other person, I pitch this again. The only other person that would make it interesting would be adding Eddie Kingston instead of Darby. If Darby is truly climbing Mount Everest for real, the only other person that would be interesting to me would be Eddie Kingston. And I'm not too confident in that.
I'm not going to ask this question because I know the answer. But like, you know how Tony Khan's been saying or they've been saying he has more control of writing and whatever, and that's how they've been getting better.
Yeah.
Drop the pen, buddy. Drop the pen. Whoever has the pen for this main event feud, which is very clearly everyone involved.
Sure. Well, I believe it's. At one point in time, it was RJ City. I don't know if it still is because that was before Tony Khan seemingly got involved. At one point in time, it was RJ City.
Well, it debatably is getting worse as time goes on. So
I think it's just getting worse because it's still going. It's still the longer it goes.
I feel like Swerve was the limit. This is your guy, right? Yeah. This is the guy. Everyone in the lead up saying this is the guy. He's gonna save everything, and then they just said LOL. Like, you remember when Samoa Joe beat MJF and it felt like just like ripping a band-aid off? Like, all right, it was fine. We moved on, and he kind of saved the world title. This is the never-ending. This isn't a band-aid. This is like you need to get stitches or something at this point. Like there's no band-aid for this situation.
Yeah, watching the Death Riders is like watching the US stock market. It's constantly going down. Is that fun? Is that a fun little topical like late night sort of joke? Like late night Jimmy Fallon joke?
Kind of. Yeah, I think it's fitting of late night.
Yeah.
I don't know why they talk about John Moxley though.
I don't know.
I wouldn't
personally. I wouldn't personally.
Yeah, I don't want to sit here and talk about him.
Yeah, so they're using this as a way to spin off for Young Bucks and Swerve. They're doing this as a way to have someone else face Moxley. It's going to be obviously for the Owen, the winner of the Owen. Now at this point, it's the winner of Owen has to win the title, right?
Why should I think that's going to happen?
I think that's a great point. I think that's a fairly fair point. Why should I think that? I brought it up before, like, and then we're gonna have 2 years in a row where the winner of the Owen wins the world title at All In. Is that a great idea? I don't.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. The world title should not main event All In.
Yeah, it should be at this point. It's got to be Omega Okada, especially if the rumors are true.
1,000%. 1,000%.
I guess in terms of a devil's advocate argument, Scotty here, if the rumors are true about Omega Okada,
they seem pretty true.
and well, the heading to the match, but that rumor of like they want to combine the titles and make some sort of like another world title or something.
Yeah.
If those rumors are true and that's the true main event, I guess that's good. But I do also agree with that a good semi-main event would have been fun. Hangman versus Swerve would also have been fun. Yeah, I don't know. It's just sort of like maybe we had so much stuff set up, but I'm not going to blame the fans anymore. You got to look at the people in the back. You got to look at Tony Khan at the end of the day, the booker, the promoter.
I would never blame myself.
we know, Scotty. I'm
right.
And it's incredibly frustrating. Obviously, we'll still talk about AEW in the future. Because we have to at this point. We have cut off so many promotions on this show, Scotty. A show Ring Plus Radio devised to talk about wrestling around the world.
That's not my fault.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, says the man who won't blame himself.
I don't want to watch MLW. Sue me.
Yeah,
and yet I did, and you didn't. Things to think about, buddy.
Well, I wouldn't say watching 7 minutes. You watching?
Buddy, that's called growth. Okay, you know what's crazy? I learned Matt Riddle won the Battle Riot. That company sucked.
2 years in a row, I believe. Fun fact. Big star.
Matt. And you want me to watch more wrestling companies?
I think the Good Brothers are coming in too.
Oh shit! Really? Okay, we'll watch for that.
Yeah, I believe there's going to be a new buyer from Machine Gunka. Yeah. Disappointing.
This is just a main event.
Disappointing main event. Divisive at best. Divisive, but largely. I think the match
gets a big doom.
Yes. And this is why I say, like, I think the match, and maybe you agree with me here, Scotty. Maybe you agree with me, Scotty. I think the match, in terms of just specifically looking at the match itself, is quality-wise better than the Cope match.
Oh, sure.
Wrestling-wise.
Yeah, that match is really bad.
That match is truly bad.
Like, that match is legitimately an awful match in every way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was not a finish I was looking forward to there either.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
This match is bad. And listen, I think being bad can be very different things in the world of wrestling.
Yes.
That match was bad because it was dog shit, like awful, terrible. This match is bad because you set up everyone for 30 minutes to believe just to rip it away and keep with the same story that no one's interested in.
Which again, is that
Plus,
the idea?
I didn't like the match. I thought this was the most boring Swerve main event I've ever seen.
Yeah. The tough part about like wrestling commentary, Scotty, and I think that's the point of.
Are you backing up Excalibur right now?
What did Excalibur say?
No.
I think like one of the tough things about like what we have to do is that like we are just dissecting and trying to figure out where the stories are happening in real time. Where in hindsight we can be like, oh, this whole we can now like I'm looking like I think we're obviously on the latter half of the Death Rider story. I say that with a lot of hope. I think a lot of cope, perhaps.
What if they're waiting till Wrestle Dream?
I will shoot myself.
Like, what if it's 1 year after type thing?
No, no. And Bryan Danielson returns, and that I guess that'd be fun.
That's not what I said.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, in some ways that would be fun.
Oh.
But it's like, but it's the thing of like, in hindsight, it's now becoming clear to me that it's like, I think that's just all this is. I think they actively want us big brain thinking to hate what's happening and to get this reaction because in wrestling, that's heat.
WWE brain.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's WWE brain. This is heat. It's going to draw money. And I guess to a certain degree, it's starting to, but we'll find out more on Dynamite on Wednesday.
You know what's the difference between, you talked about like how people talk about WWE being pretty rough for the WrestleMania build, right?
Yeah. And
The
last point, and then we got to move on. But go on.
The difference is WWE can do wrong and still win over the fans.
Yeah.
AEW doesn't have that luxury.
Yes, correct.
They don't have that luxury, especially during WrestleMania season of all seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of the problem. And just a reminder, so I'm getting over the heated thing an hour after the match, right? I'm watching the rest of Sakura Genesis. I'm doing my job here for this show.
Yeah.
I'm in a good mood. This show's good. Like I had a great time. I saved the big 3 matches for myself to treat myself. And I had a good time. And then I saw someone tweet, "Oh, well, this was for Anarchy in the Arena." I almost lost my shit. Yeah. I was like, who gives a shit about Anarchy in the Arena? Oh, I was like, I can't believe someone just said that. And I know it's true. That's the worst part. Yeah. Like, I know it's true. You know how I feel about Blood and Guts. You brought up Blood and Guts yesterday about something else. And I wanted to say, who gives a shit about Blood and Guts? Little did I know we have another one before that I always forget about. Imagine. No, I'm done. We can move on.
When they say Anarchy in the Arena,
47 minutes for one match.
When they say Anarchy in the Arena, do you think they mean Blood and Guts? Because where would they do Anarchy in the Arena with all these people?
Double or Nothing every year.
Oh, I guess they're right. They would just
That's the heartbreaking part. Yeah, see, the reaction you just had was my reaction. I was like,
because then Mox can be in that and not defend the title.
Holy shit, that's so much worse.
It's what Mox the Death. It'd be Mox the Death Riders, including Marina Shafir probably, because then you could do Willow.
Probably, yeah.
You can do Willow, Swerve, Paige.
The Ops.
Well, that's 3. Then it'll be 6 to 5, and the Young Bucks are not even a part of this.
Well, we can add the Bucks then.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah.
I guess if you take. Yeah, I guess if you, I don't know.
Holy shit, a 7-person on 7 versus 7 match sounds terrible.
I guess at that point you take out Marina and Willow, which would suck.
Probably, yeah.
Which I think at this point they have to be in it, right?
This entire story has been about taking out Willow.
Willow has to get revenge on Moxley at this point, so she has to be.
Willow should win the world title.
I agree.
That'd be a great payoff. I'd actually come back for that.
Yeah.
We love Willow.
We love Willow here. All right, let's get to the actual rest of the show for Dynasty because we, like you said, 48 minutes in, we count. It
was warranted. The people needed to know how I felt.
Oh, I agree. I fully agree.
And I'm breaking up with you, AEW.
Dynasty opens up. Will Ospreay versus Kevin Knight. Victory lap of all. Victory lap of all victory laps, Scotty.
Golf clap.
Last week, you and I talked about, and during the preview, being like, what are the Owen Hart matches they're going to do? We both agreed that Will Ospreay is obviously going to be on the show, and Mercedes Moné is obviously going to be on the show. It's just a matter of
clap for us.
And then
clap for you.
Last minute, little Hail Mary pass, being like, what about Kevin Knight as an opener? Yep. And look who's announced, baby. Kevin Knight versus Will Ospreay in a fucking doozy of an opener. Great match. Legitimately,
this Kevin Knight guy is pretty good.
Pretty good. I tweeted out that like it is so obvious the value AEW sees in Kevin Knight for 3 reasons. 1, wrestling Will Ospreay in a showcase match. Arguably the best person you could ever have in a showcase match. This guy can get great matches out of Matt Cardona. Number 2, a pay-per-view match this early in a signing. They are pushing this guy hard right now, right?
Till he disappears for a month.
Till he disappears and starts losing all the time. And that's the end.
He's disappearing for a month because of Best of Super Juniors, but yeah.
Yes. That's a good point. And then number 3, JR was on the call.
That's true. That's true.
When it's an important moment, they put JR on the call. And whatever
Yep.
you say about JR as a commentator, and a lot of people have a lot of opinions about him, and that's fair.
I'll be that guy. With this commentary team, you can't say shit.
but like
He brings professionalism. He brings quality.
hey, well, one victory lap at a time, Scotty. We're still on the Will Ospreay Kevin Knight one. We can't. I don't know.
I haven't had one yet. So.
Yeah, I don't know when we're gonna bring up the commentary, but we'll take that victory lap.
I like victory laps. I haven't had one yet. I guess the main event of me betting my soul on it was a funny victory lap.
That's more of like a loser's lap. You know?
Not can be Hiroki Goto, I guess, which is true in this world.
What would you think of the opener, Kevin Knight, Will Ospreay?
It was a hoot. It was a hoot. Exactly what you want an opener for a show to be. Really, this Kevin Knight guy gonna be pretty great. We've been saying it for months, years.
28 years old.
Yeah, it's a building block, I'd like to call him. You know, you and me have talked about this many times. I was always like, AEW's like one roster-wise, their one hit is like they don't have the clear young superstar type figures like WWE has. They have like one or two, but WWE, obviously, people have talked about it. You know, you can't get Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair all the time, buddy. I had to make a comment. But I watched Kevin Knight. I'm like, he's one of those guys.
Yeah.
And very clearly. So much so that we should have him do a tryout match. Just to make sure. This was a hell of a tryout match. I think when it comes to Kevin Knight, limitless potential, so much natural charisma that I don't think is spoken about. Like, I don't even care if he can't talk. I don't know if he can. Never heard him talk because he's never had to.
He's done. I know before the match, I think, or at least on pre-shows, they did like a special video package with him
that's
talking.
good. That's good.
It was
either
fine.
way.
He was fine.
Love
it was a
this
video
guy.
package, so whatever.
Love this guy. Putting him in there with Ospreay. There was a part of me, and if he didn't get announced for Best of Super Juniors, I was like, there was a part of me that was like, I think he just have a win. Fuck it. Because he was doing so good.
Yeah.
Like, he was doing so good. It was a star-making performance for a guy that's had star-making performances before, but his previous company never capitalized on it. So I'm very happy for him. I'm very, Ospreay was good. I don't need to really say that.
Yeah, this match wasn't about Ospreay. It was
no, not at all. It was about Kevin Knight, and they made it that way. I tweeted 3 things regarding AEW yesterday. One was about Kevin Knight because I think he's that good.
Yeah.
The other was just the darkness emoji, and the other one was
the darkness emoji that you tweeting that on a Joshi Twitter page, basically. Used a lot of people.
Not the month to be doing that. That's my bad.
In hindsight, yeah.
My bad. And then I ended up tweeting after the main event that Joshi Wrestling was the best. Because I was so upset. And I was like, this is why I don't watch these things. And this is why I don't invest myself in these things. But I will invest myself in Kevin Knight. Yes, does that hurt the idea that I'll never watch AEW again? Sure. But I'm taking a break. We're on a break. I can't fully break up because I have a show to do here, folks.
Yeah.
But we're going on a break. Just like Ross and Rachel. Friends joke? Anyone? No? Too old? Too young? What the fuck was that? A gong?
I think like the spring just made a sound on my mic.
Ross and Rachel gets gong noises.
Look at the Undertaker. He's coming out. Holy shit.
I was expecting the lights go off and you were going to get a BTE trigger.
When that happened, I was like, Sabu, he's coming. Super Dragon.
I never said when those lights went out last night, I was like, please be Sting.
When those lights went out, I was like, is it Anthony Bowens? Is he coming back out?
Oh, shout out to Anthony Bowens, by the way. We're not going to talk about it. Had a real superstar return. What were we talking about? Oh, Kevin Knight rules, and I'm very happy for him. He's a guy that will make me care still. I mean, I'm not caring as much right now. But like I said, my mindset right now is just watch the Owen. That will be me moving forward.
That's fair. I think of the at least the men's matches. At least for the men's matches, like the two legitimately great matches.
Yeah, and we're
So
building towards Mercedes and Athena. I can't just act like
exactly.
I can't just act like that's not happening.
Something that you may or may not be there live for. So
Oh, I will be. My friend might beat my ass if I'm not.
I agree. I agree. Moving on. AEW World Tag Team Title match: Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin versus Big Bill and Brian Keith. Obviously, this was be Lance Archer and Brian Cage got subbed out. And I thought this was fine. Eternal, if you're in the chat, AEW will fail.
Eternal. I just want you to know you missed my 48-minute long rant.
I know Eternal. They're going back to the beginning and then watching the rest.
With a little Ryan like factoid sprinkled in there. Like Ryan was like, I'm gonna use reason. Wow, this fucking guy freaks out.
Did you see the thing I messaged you in Slack?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So there was someone
that
skeeted on Blue Sky on the skyline.
What the hell skeeted me?
Instead of tweeted and skeeted on Blue Sky.
I like skied. I think that's funny.
No, I don't know. I like the skyline. I think that's a great thing for the time.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
At Just Lucy on Blue Sky wrote, the difference between how Twitter and Blue Sky react to booking they don't like is amazing. And of course, I'm Blue Sky, your Twitter. Blue Sky, I don't like that thing. This thing would be more to my taste. Here's why. Twitter, the person reasonable for this has betrayed me and my ancestors and should die immediately. I have never seen a more Scotty and Ryan.
And that's Ring Post Radio.
That's Ring Post Radio, my baby. Anyways, AEW World Tag Team Title match. I thought this was a perfectly solid match. I don't necessarily have like
get MJF out of here.
Yeah, I don't really have like big gripes about it. I went like 2.5. I was like, that's fine. Fine little match. What it was.
Yeah.
The Hurt Business continues to succeed and win. I thought the wrestling was fine. We love Big Bill here on this show.
You'll like this. This will pop you. I was sitting there the other day. I was like, man, and I was watching. I saw like these tweets about, you know how like people tweet about like the old stuff. Like people always do, like, you know, the WWE roster was stacked in 2009 or whatever.
Well, it's just locker room photo.
I was like, if I had a different Twitter account, I would tweet, W. Morrissey should have been world champion. Because like I can't let go of W. Morrissey, man. That guy ruled.
I can't do that with my fingers.
I appreciate you trying. I like Big Bill a lot.
Yeah, I wish he did more. I wish he did a lot more. But yeah, I mean, this was as a sort of supplement makeup thing, and obviously part of this match was MJF's involvement here as well. I thought it was a nice little match. It was a blip in the continuation of the story of what we're doing with these guys. So
it's really funny that I didn't think they were just going to go from Hangman and MJF to just moving on.
Yeah,
like there was no part of me that was going to happen. Little did I know we had to move on to make a Young Bucks match. Would I rather see MJF versus Hangman?
I was about to question that, Scotty. Think about what you're saying for a second. Would you rather see at All in Texas MJF versus Adam Page or Swerve and Adam Page versus the Young Bucks?
So the problem is I had convinced myself that if that was the angle, they were going to do Texas Death.
Fair.
By then. And that would have been great.
I guess they still could do a Texas Death tag match.
I'm gonna do a Texas Death me match.
Me and Tony Khan match.
Yeah, you're right. Or John Moxley, because I know it'll be the most boring Texas Death match of all time.
Well, anyways, let's move on.
Anyways, yeah, let's move on. I'm talking about these people.
We got a lot to get to. We got to move on.
Money.
Money.
Versus Julia Hart, obviously in a quarterfinal match for the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament. Mercedes picks up the win. She moves on. She faces the winner of Athena and whoever the other person was. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Harley Cameron.
Thank you. It's going to be Athena, so it didn't matter.
Feel the wrath.
Again, I thought this was a pretty good match. Julia Hart was the big sort of takeaway that a lot of people had from here is that it feels like she needs to have a little bit different or more.
It feels like
she's stalling.
She felt like Anna Jay in this match. Pre-stardom thing.
Yeah,
where
I
we
think
were like,
that's
what
fair.
is going on here? Like we gotta do something. We gotta either try and pivot and grow. Sorry, I'm not gonna use the word pivot around this company anymore. We have to either like we gotta do something, right?
Like we
And
either have to do like a massive gimmick change or
yeah,
something like training wise, where
right,
for her to get a
right.
lot more.
Because I think Anna Jay ended up coming back better.
Yeah.
I just watched Julia Hart here, and I was asking myself, how the hell was she champion? Like that was my takeaway because you kind of can forget that because one, she's still so young. And two, I mean, she's in there with Mercedes, someone who has consistently had like multiple people's best matches in this
Mhm.
company, and you were kind of hoping for that here. Like I thought she looked good in the tag on Collision,
Yeah.
but this, I think, in the singles atmosphere, she's just not there right now. Julia, that is, not Mercedes. Please don't hurt me. We don't need that. I would never say that about Mercedes. But yeah, like that was my big takeaway. The match wasn't as bad as people said.
Agreed.
There were 3 matches way worse to me.
Yes.
Um,
I think in hindsight, I think people would be like,
yeah, for
"All right, that
sure,
wasn't
for
bad."
sure. They would be like, you know what? I'll take that because that wasn't a bad match. It just wasn't good.
Yeah.
Right. Like when I say it wasn't a bad match, again, this kind of talks to the everyone expects, 3.5 stars and higher at all times. And like, listen, Julia Hart's not that wrestler.
Yeah.
This was her chance.
I
Fine.
I haven't thought about that in terms of, presuming that there'll be another AEW person in the 5-star this year, but like Julia Hart is actually like a legitimately good shout if that's something she would
Yeah,
be interested in doing.
sure.
Because that is the thing. Like I think this gimmick works for her. So then it becomes an issue of, well, she needs more training. And hey, look, it did wonders for Anna Jay last year.
Yeah.
So why not do it with Julia Hart? That actually legitimately makes sense. That would
She
probably
was
be
out
great
for a
for
long
her.
time too.
Yeah, and that it's
Obviously.
well, so was Anna Jay, of course.
Yeah.
So
So I mean, do I want her in the 5-star? No, but do I understand it? Yes.
I also think Julia
And
Hart
she's also a
has
bigger star than Anna Jay is, at least
agreed.
coming in.
I also think Julia Hart has a higher ceiling than Anna Jay,
For
perhaps.
sure. She hits a moonsault. That's a good thing to hit.
That's one of many reasons. So I think like her being in Stardom would like legitimately raise her stock a lot.
Mm. Mhm.
So I think that it actually legitimately, I think that's something we should start
If she
pushing,
doesn't go into it, then um,
reassess.
we have to officially judge how much she wants it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Or if they put someone else in, then we just have to like, oh, okay. That's also
Yeah.
part of it.
EW World Trios title match. Claudio Castagnoli, Pac, and Wheeler Yuta able to successfully defend their titles with Cope, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler in a losing effort. Afterwards, obviously, Dax turns on Cope.
Yeah.
Cash, a little begrudging at first, but it was all an act. He joins them, much to the crowd's cheers. They turn heel and attack Cope. And then in an extremely funny spot, Scotty, them faking the injury, them going over to the gurney and faking the injury was incredibly funny and good shit. I genuinely don't remember anything about this match. The only talking points about it is the post-match angle. So do you have any thoughts about this match?
Um. So up until this point, before the turn, I said, this show's as advertised.
Yeah.
Like it's B show energy, one really good match, everything else is fine. And then the turn happened, and I said to you, "Wow, congratulations, FTR, turning babyface." In my heart, for sure. Like there was no world I was booing
Hey,
them,
not just in your heart, in the crowd's heart too. They
and I
were
was like by the end, the crowd was like, "Oh my god, don't do that!" Like they didn't want to see the guy concussed or whatever. Um, I guess, but they did cheer off the rip, right? And then again, it's kind of that thing of the continue, which I know you're about to go on a diatribe about, so I'm gonna let you have it, and rightfully so,
yeah.
deserved. Um, it's a good diatribe that I'm excited to hear you piece together, especially with how the main event went. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, but yeah, I don't remember much of the match. It was fine. It was solid. It was didn't.
I went 3 flat. It's like fine, good, I think.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. There was nothing to really remember besides they smashed noggins at the end, and Dax got pinned, and it leads to a heel FTR, which is better than a babyface FTR.
Yeah. Yes, I definitely agree. I think that leads to a way more exciting things for FTR moving forward. The finish. I think I'm just like moving forward when it comes to these sort of like heel turns. I'm just gonna start saying that they're bad. Um, when you get a heel turn and the crowd's reaction is to cheer, that means it doesn't work, folks. That means it didn't work. And I think at this point we just have to start like admitting to ourselves that these are bad turns. I think if FTR did this against someone to a better babyface degree, a Kevin Knight, if you will, someone I root for, even a Will Ospreay, someone else. Unlike Cope, who I think is extremely weak babyface, obviously right now, um, it would probably come off better. But because they did with Cope, a extremely weak babyface, that even though there is a connection between these guys, uh, people don't care about Cope right now. That's obvious based on the reaction. FTR turning heel and getting the crowd cheered. That's not what you want. We're in the business of controlling the crowd's emotion, and to have the opposite reaction that you would want from a heel turn is not good. It's genuinely not good, and I think we need to stop fooling ourselves and giving them flowers and say it was worked well or anything like that. It's not good. What is the intent of the artist? What is the intent of the work? That's where my struggles in the main event angles, an issue that I mentioned earlier in the show, stem from. Is I don't. Maybe it is the Stockholm Syndrome kicking is. Maybe the idea is I'm supposed to hate it. I don't like that. I think those are shitty stories to do. But the intent here is a heel turn and make you sympathetic towards Cope, especially when they do the concerto. And there was a little bit of the crowd not being happy about that, and so that's good. But like the immediate rip of the crowd cheering it, that's bad. That is actively bad. And I'm just gonna start moving forward, being like, hey, anything like that, same thing of like John Cena turning heel, like having the crowd turn, cheer for Cena turning heel at first. That giving the crowd what they want, right? It's tough.
That one's different.
That one's a little. I do agree that one's a little bit different, but that's
That
just
one's
like another
20
example.
years different.
Yes, that's a different scenario, but in the same breath of
He's
like the crowd.
now.
Yes, the crowd being excited at the time.
And I said this to you after it happened. I think it's partly the fans. People like to see things happen, so they naturally cheer.
I think that's
in today's era.
Yes, I think it's a twofold problem. I think it's one, it's the fan reaction, but at the same time, it is, to me, it's also like the promoter and the booking, right? The idea, the end goal is for the promoter and the booker to be able to predict and create the proper emotion needed for the story you're telling. If you don't, and if you are unable to do that with this heel turn of FTR, then I don't think it's good. And yes, the crowd's reacting is poor, but what is this, WWE? Like, and I'm not, and it's not what you should be doing. And that's what I said. I think at the end of the day, it's the bigger thing. I think what you're talking about, the fan thing, is a byproduct of the bigger issue, which is a babyface problem.
But Cody Rhodes is not a problem.
Cody Rhodes is not a problem, and I think that's
the biggest babyface.
Cena turning heel. Cena turning heel immediately gets the crowd excited, but then hitting Cody, it turns to the crowd doesn't like it anymore, right? Cope is not Cody Rhodes. He's not a great babyface, extremely weak babyface.
He's never been a good babyface.
I think when he first came in before he got injured, he got to be a good babyface.
When he got into AEW, I agree, but like his career has always been a heel.
Yes. That is very valid. But yeah, it's a baby face issue at the end of the day. If you're doing a heel turn, you can't do it on a baby face who is extremely weak in the eyes of the fans, because then the fan reaction to that will be, I don't care about that. I'm going to cheer for the face or for the heels.
So walk with me here, or don't. I don't really care because I'm not excited about it, but it's probably the truth.
Okay.
That's how you tell someone. So I think the direction in the long term, all in, you have Young Bucks versus Hangman and Swerve. You have Omega versus Okada.
Yeah.
You probably have Mercedes versus Athena, 2 or 3, whatever number they are at by then, which is crazy to say because we haven't had one.
Mox versus winner of the Owen.
Right. Tony versus winner of the Owen. Then I think you're going to have FTR versus Edge and Christian.
Yeah, I agree. We
Which
haven't seen Christian in a while since the triple threat bullshit.
right, and it feels like they're going more heel with Nick Wayne while Christian's going to maybe do the flip of it. Either way, while I'm not interested in Cope, one more Edge and Christian run's not a bad thing.
Well, we'll see if it's a
At
run.
least match.
Yeah, we'll see if it's a run, but definitely a match.
I'm interested in the match. Like, I think that's fitting of All In for them.
Agreed. But
I don't want a big Edge singles. And here's the thing, Edge is gonna have a match. So you have to accept that. And likely he's been written off for a while. So maybe this is the time to get back into AEW.
Whoa,
I'm just kidding.
The psychic damage.
yeah, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that seems like the direction.
But Scotty, that seems like a good enough dream sort of tag team match to do at All In Texas. So then why do Young Bucks versus Swerve?
Buddy, I agree. The answer was there. Hangman versus Swerve for the world title. Young Bucks versus the Hurt Syndicate for the tag belts. And FTR versus Edge and Christian was all right there. They could have had this. They could have done this. But they didn't want to because AEW's were the best politic, baby.
Maybe Adele was right. Maybe we could have had it all. I don't know.
Maybe Alicia Keys was right. This girl is on fire. I don't know. I just wanted to add a song lyric. Move on.
Well, speaking of, let's talk about the women's world title, which of course was between Toni Storm.
Girl is on fire.
Actually, that would have been more proper for Mercedes Moné with her Los Infernales outfit.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Big fan. Big Hetchy fan. Toni Storm versus Megan Bayne for the AEW Women's World Title. I thought this was a really good showing for Bayne in a similar vein, less so than Kevin Knight, but still a similar vein to that degree. I thought it was good. Toni Storm again wins with the small package. I'm not jazzed about it with someone like Megan Bayne, but it does also continue to set up the thing of underdog to this big monster that is Megan Bayne.
Do I like that she destroyed her and got through it and no-sold everything just to lose to a small package? No. Mm-hmm. Am I going to complain about it? Yeah, I am. That would be me if I didn't. Yeah, I just think it sucked. Like the small package part. The match was good.
Yeah.
The match was good. I just don't like it. I don't like the small package finish against a monster. It works against other people, but a monster, like just do like a schoolboy pin or something. Like just again, you're stealing it. I don't know. Don't do a schoolboy pin. I don't know how we're gonna get out of it. I understand that.
I think the good counterpoint the good counterpoint I can only make to it is like at least this small package finish, Scotty, wasn't just a one-off here, and it is at this point an established finisher for Toni Storm because of she's won many matches in the past 6 months with small packages. It's to a degree it is a established finish. So to that it's like, okay, it's passable. I don't love it, but it's passable.
Sure. Yeah, I wasn't like mad about it. I just was upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where like I get it. Do I love it? No. Do I accept it? Yes.
Where's Megan Bayne go from here? I truly don't know. With Penelope Ford, and you can also like
Collision.
But with like Penelope Ford and like there was someone else that gave energy. I don't remember who it was, but I guess Julia Hart, and if Sky Blue comes back, they're really bolstering the women's division, and they have they're creating pairs in the women's division as well. I'm just wondering if maybe after 6 long years of promises, Scotty, we're finally gonna get the AEW women's tag titles. I don't love that idea either because is what it
Good
is.
time for me to say that this company cannot handle those.
Yeah,
That's
I
not an
agree.
that and that's pretty much how I feel about American wrestling as a whole with the women's tag belts.
Would you be okay if they combine the continental and international titles at
That has
Ellen,
nothing to
Texas?
do with tag belts for
No, no,
me.
no, yeah, but they're combining those titles to make way for the women's tag titles.
That'd be very funny. That'd be a very funny situation. I mean, it does feel like there's gonna be tag belts because I don't know, you would have Mina coming in too.
Yeah, if Mariah May is sticking around, well, I guess you can't do that. But I was gonna say if Mariah
You
May is sticking,
could.
they could do it. They could do a tag team.
Using things that make sense does not need to happen.
We
Like
flipped Chris Stat for no reason, so we could do that with
yeah,
Mariah May.
I'm still upset about that.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
So
Yeah,
bad.
I think that would be a good idea. I think you both have enough. I think you have a better women's roster here than like WWE, who has tag titles. So I think there's enough where you can do something fun. And maybe that is like a thing where it's like the finals tournament to crown new champions, right? All in Texas, right? That could be fun. And maybe
There's
that,
no way there's 3 women's matches on the main card there.
but Scotty, maybe that's how we get titles on Willow and Chris Stat. Maybe this is just what we have to accept.
Oh god, I live in pain.
Moving on, Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe for the Owen Hart Foundation Men's Tournament quarterfinal match. This came at last second. And Scotty, this was my match of the night. Kyle Fletcher fucking rules. He was great. You know, I love me some leg lariats. There was one leg lariat that looked like it kicked Mark Briscoe square in the jaw. Mark Briscoe, fantastic. A fantastic wrestler. More people should be talking about Mark Briscoe. Whenever 2 people are on screen, they should be talking about where's Mark Briscoe. He is that great of a wrestler. He should be doing more. He is criminally underrated in this company. He should genuinely be doing more.
But he's underpaid too.
I agree with that as well. He is legitimately great. I don't think this match got picked out last minute, and these two looked at each other and said, "Say less. We'll prove everyone wrong." And they had, in my opinion, the match of the night.
Did you say prove everyone wrong?
Well, prove them wrong in the sense of like we're just gonna put on like a last minute, a couple days.
To be fair, they've
the show.
done it pretty much 3 times now. So
that is true, and they've been great every single time.
Yeah, like they have great chemistry.
Great chemistry. So Mark Briscoe should be doing more. Kyle Fletcher is currently, I think, my clubhouse leader for wrestler of the year. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think this match put him over the top. Put him over the top.
Wow. You know what I realized after this show?
What's that?
This is by far the lowest I've ever had Will Ospreay.
Oh, I think I agree with that.
I mean, you might have him like 4th, and that's still the lowest. But still.
I'm at 6, but yeah.
He's 44th for me.
Jesus Christ.
Anyways,
he has this is the lowest I've had him since 2018.
Mark.
Well, the last couple of years have been an all-time Hall of Fame run.
Who was I going to talk about? Mark Briscoe. I have decided Mark Briscoe is the only man that might get a good match out of Jon Moxley in the year 2025.
Sure.
Mark Briscoe could do no wrong in my heart. Okay?
I agree.
Mark Briscoe deserves more money. He deserves more of a push. He deserves the world. This guy rocks. Fletcher did great. They always do great, these two. Yeah, I have no problems with it.
Yeah. What rating did you give it? Flat 4? I went 4.25, so we pretty much agree.
To be fair, flat 4 would be tied for match of the night, so I agree on match of the night overall.
Yeah, I went 4.25. I went 4 flat on Ospreay and Kevin Knight as my 2 top matches.
You know, you don't shock me.
Yeah. I got a style I like, apparently. Can you blame me? All right, next match. Bandito versus Chris Jericho, our Ring of Honor World title versus mask match. We kind of talked about this a little bit already. Bandito loses to Chris Jericho. We got a dusty finish.
The first crash out of the show. For the AEW audience.
It set me up. It set me up for sure. Chris Jericho pins Bandito. Bandito's mother appeals to referee Aubrey Edwards, who then sees the bat and says, Aubrey, yes, the commissioner, Bandito's mother, appeals to referee Aubrey Edwards, appeals to the referees who didn't see the bat used at all to be like, oh, then he must have used this bat that's sitting here. They restarted the match, and Bandito was able to retain his title and beat Chris Jericho to become the new Ring of Honor World Champion.
I like the idea that not a single person could tell anyone that the lights went out in the main event. Not a single person. Yeah, no, this was bad. Didn't like it.
Yeah.
Finish was bad.
I thought the match itself was bad. Chris Jericho getting a hit and then just like wobbling over to do the 21 plex. And then instead of like when Bandito flips, instead of like helping Bandito flip back, he just like doesn't do anything and just crumbles. It's like,
famously the 21 plex stinks.
Yeah, okay? Not a great. I don't like that finisher. I don't like that.
It's the one bad thing about Bandito.
Agreed.
It's a pretty bad thing, obviously, because it's the finish.
I would love if he had Ricochet's like gun thing that he does, which is just like a hidden blade. But you know how Ricochet like pulls out a gun, spins it, and then points, and then does the flying elbow.
Yeah, and I don't. So the reason I don't love that move is because Ricochet does it. It just doesn't fit Ricochet. It would fit Bandito. This was not good. Should have easily been the worst match of the night for me, but I didn't care enough because in the end, Bandito was fine. So it's like, all right, whatever. But the match wasn't good. No, I gave it 0.25 because of the powerbomb spot.
That legitimately was really good, and the fact that Chris Jericho didn't blow out both of his knees because Chris Jericho jumps off. Lands and lands and in that split second power bombs Bandito. When he lands, he has the gravitational force of two people on his broken ass knees, and the fact that his knees didn't explode is crazy to me.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I also was reminded. Actually, no, I'll save the joke for the next one. I have a good joke that will pop 4 people. But I'm one of them.
On the theme of like heat and this idea that I'm setting out throughout the show of
there was
like,
heat.
Yeah, but the theme of like crowd reaction and getting the warranted thing. In the moment, it's like, oh god, this sucks. But it's like the more I think about it, you sit with it a little bit. It's like, fuck. I mean, Chris Jericho got me, brother. I mean, Chris Jericho got me so bad. I was crashing out so fucking hard. And
there's 2 ways to look at it. It
worked. Yes.
Or it's Jericho wanted a pinfall.
That's also fair. That's
both
also
are
fair.
Probably real. But I think it's weird because I don't love the way the Dusty finish went. Had they done it better, it would be different. But it just like the match ended, and then like, oh, we're gonna actually restart.
Yeah. I think if like the logic of the Dusty finish didn't make any sense to me. Like I said, the commissioner. If it literally was just referee Aubrey Edwards, if referee Aubrey Edwards just saw the bat use,
sure, that would have
came in. The logic would make way more sense.
Also, death taxes. Jericho flops with the luchador in a big match. That is the ways of life. Though I don't think Bandito is going to be as mad as Mystico was. Hopefully,
he didn't seem mad.
A lot of it.
Yeah.
This I hope it means we're moving on, right? Like now Bandito can have cool matches. Like he can have Bandito matches.
Yep.
That would be great. Yeah, this wasn't good. And sadly after this match it didn't get better.
Next match, Adam Cole versus Daniel Garcia TNT title match. I thought this was my least favorite match of the night. I thought this match was
You said you were giving 2 3/4.
I reassessed as I went on. Yeah. Last night I was like, I don't know, 2 3/4. And as I'm putting this in, I was like,
you're actually gonna be 3.
It kept dropping. And I'm now at a 1 3/4 star match. I dropped a whole
bad.
I dropped a whole several stars since the last time we spoke about it. It was not a bad match. It was a bad match. Sorry. It was extremely boring for 15 minutes. Look, 17 years of Adam Cole. As soon as you start talking about his career and all these sort of things, and this is where his career started, it's like, fuck, Adam Cole's winning. It's all the things that you and I have not liked about Adam Cole and this rehab project of putting him with Undisputed Era has been good, and we've been enjoying that. But now we're back to babyface Adam Cole singles wrestler, which is the exact thing you and I didn't like the last go around. So that's not great. Then you have Daniel Garcia, a guy, I think it was like Trevor Dame posted this online where he said like Daniel Garcia is like the new Ricky Starks, a guy that has all of this momentum built up, and as soon as they capitalize it, it just starts ebbing away slowly but surely. A guy whose title reign has been like not that great. It's basically just been Shane Taylor and Adam Cole and variations of people from the Undisputed Era and Shane Taylor promotions for the past several months, which is whatever, but like not what we are all expecting from this TNT title reign when he won the title. And ending here, it's just like, fuck. What else do we do with this guy? I mean,
it's a good debate that the TNT title sucks.
At this point, it's like Daniel Garcia. I don't know what else we're gonna do with you in this company, man. At this point, I think you got to switch. I think you got to switch sides. Truly, it's not a great reign.
Title has such bad history. Like, there's a few bright spots.
Yeah,
but I'm looking at this, and we just gotta do this real quick for the sake of I need you to know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So you have the Cody reign, Brody Lee, Cody. That was good, right?
Great.
Darby.
Great.
Darby was good.
Great win. Right. I remember that for sure.
Miro.
I really enjoyed that reign.
I don't like Miro, but that was good.
That was fun.
I'll give him that. And then Sammy Guevara. So you're starting to take a dip now.
Yeah.
Right?
And
then Cody randomly wins it back.
But
before leaving.
Yes. Oh yeah. I don't remember him winning back, but the culmination of all this is legitimately great.
He did win it back. Then Sammy Guevara wins it again.
Yes. This is the moment where Cody's like in and out and about to leave the company.
And this is where it takes a nosedive.
Yes.
And then it goes to Scorpio Sky.
That was when the LA Lakers TNT title reign that was fine, bad. Like it was
then it goes back to Sammy Guevara.
Okay, yeah, because that was to fix things, I think.
Then it goes back to Scorpio Sky.
Yeah, that was not good.
Then Wardlow has it.
That was Wardlow's first title reign.
Wasn't good, buddy. Here's his title reign. Ready?
Wardlow's similar to like Daniel Garcia, where it's like, all right, we're gonna do something, and then it's just like, oh, this
try to tell me if this is a good title reign. Scorpio Sky, Orange Cassidy, Jay Lethal, Ryan Nemeth, Tony Nese, Brian Cage, Matt Taven, Ari Daivari.
Ari Daivari.
Yeah.
Ari Daivari.
Then Samoa Joe wins it, has it for 46 days, and it's great. He has it for a whole month and a half.
Yeah.
Because he has the Darby matches, and they're great.
Yep.
They're great. Then Darby wins it back for 28 days.
So for the Muto retirement tour.
Yeah. He defended it 5 times in that many days. Yeah. More than Wardlow did.
Against Kushida.
It ruled. Mike Bennett, Juice Robinson, Kushida.
That Mike Bennett match ruled. I remember going on audio and being like, this ruled, baby.
Yeah. Then Joe wins it back in that fantastic no holds barred match. Then they give it to Wardlow for 3 days. Then Powerhouse Hobbs has unbelievably bad reign with it.
Yeah.
Not his fault. Then Wardlow wins it back again. Then Luchasaurus wins it. Then Christian Cage just has it, essentially.
Yeah.
Then Christian Cage's reign was good. He had that match with Darby, the Wrestle Dream match.
Yeah.
And one with Bryan Danielson, which I remember being good. Then he drops it to Cope, who got cashed in on and lost it right back.
Yep.
Then Cope wins it and gets hurt.
Yep.
Then the Jack Perry reign, the Daniel Garcia reign, and now the Adam Cole reign.
So this is how I see the history of the TNT title. Yes, waves. In fact, when it's on,
drifting
it is
away.
The most interesting on veterans. Cody, Samoa Joe, Christian Cage. I'm not gonna really count Cope because that was so light. That was so small. Brody Lee, I guess, as well.
Mm.
Whenever they did the thing with the TNT title where they put it on a upcoming hot bright star that people have hope in,
Mhm.
Garcia, Perry, Wardlow, Hobbs. Whenever they
Yeah,
did that,
it flopped.
not for every single one, because Scorpio Sky will add in there, but not every single one, like Darby or Sammy or something.
Sure.
We're able to resist that, but like for a lot of those people, it flops.
Yeesh.
It's
Okay. Yeah, and now
not.
Adam
It
Cole
turns
has
out
it.
the TNT title is not an elevator at
This
all.
is the type of belt that they should have just given Ricochet
Yeah, I agree.
in the current run that Ricochet's on. Um, so this is when I can say my joke. Because I was feeling it after this match, and I ended up joining John Moxley. So for those who don't know, Jungle Kiona's back.
Yes,
Kind of. I
come
mean,
back for one
she's
match
doing an
appearance.
exhibition match. She has no working knees. The doctors told her they can't do anything about it, and yet she is better than Adam Cole, Chris Jericho, and John Moxley. It's crazy. It's crazy. She legitimately has knees that don't work. Like they told her, hey, we can't fix this. And she's still, I'm still more interested in her wrestling for 5 minutes than the slop that I got with these 3 matches. Now, here's just let the joke ride, please. I can't believe that these 3 matches happened in the final 4.
Yeah,
I think that makes the show so much worse because of it.
that's fair. That's fair. I
I
like, yeah, in terms of like weighted
I like
ranking sort of things.
Adam Cole. I like the man Adam Cole. I do. And I want him to be great. But this match was so poorly done. He sells the ankle for the half the match and then hits 4 Panama Sunrises to win. The worst move in wrestling, by the way.
What? Hold on. Worse than the 21 plex?
It's a debate. We
It's
could talk about it for a while.
yeah,
I don't want to because they're both bad.
yeah.
This is
That's a Ring Post Radio Quarterly if I've ever heard one.
which one's worse? Shit or dog
It'd
shit?
be no Ring Post Radio Quarterly is us doing the worst AEW finisher bracket.
Yeah, but this was not good.
Mercedes Moné
Um,
finisher is in there too.
oh yeah, the moneymaker, which she's gone away from
I know. Finally,
finally. She didn't even hit on Julia Hart, like someone she could have easily hit it on. Anyways,
I like Adam Cole the person. He is wrestling singles babyface Adam Cole. Fuck off, dude. Fuck off.
and I mean, I don't. This is the thing I said last night when the match ended. I was like, I didn't care who won because I'm not into either of them as
Correct.
single wrestlers.
Which sucks. We both agree sucks, but it is true.
Yeah, Daniel Garcia. I don't know what happened. Well, I could tell you the Jericho to the MJF to the leaving to coming back probably didn't help. But I don't know what happened. I have no interest in this guy anymore. Zero.
Yep. Yeah.
I was told this was a good title reign from those. There was people that
I watched pretty much all of it. I think I
there
watched
were
every title match.
there was a lot of people that like, oh, you're not enjoying it because you don't watch Collision. I watched this title reign. It was fine.
Yeah, I think at best it's fine. At best, I can give it like maybe a 3 of a title.
Jack Perry, Mark Briscoe, Katsuyori Shibata, Kyle Riley, and Lee Moriarty. Jay Lethal on a show that no one saw. Adam Cole, Lee Moriarty, Adam Cole, Adam Cole.
A lot of defenses. I'll give them that.
Yay.
But the TNT title has always been like a lot of defenses. I mean, fucking Darby Allin had like what 12 in 5 days.
Is the international title the best title
Yes.
this company has
Yes.
in terms of hit rate?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't even think it's close.
Well, let's talk about the match. Last thing to talk about here before we have to move on. Dynasty, Kenny Omega versus Mike Bailey versus Ricochet. Triple threat for the triple way dance or whatever, AEW International title. Scotty, I thought this match was really good. I have one complaint. Can you tell me what that is?
It went too long, which it did, to be fair. Like that.
I want a cage match. 31 minutes.
Yeah,
This
I
match.
thought that was egregious. Had they sliced off 5, I could have been in the conversation of one of the great three-way matches in history,
Yeah.
like people wanted it to be. But
I
I
think
couldn't.
I think you lop off 10. It's a 5-star match.
10, yeah, I think that's fair. Ultimately, I still walked away saying, "Wow, that was a great match." It just was way too long.
It currently has a 9.24 on Cage Match.
Yeah, I mean that's not shocking. Like they had a lot of great ideas, a lot of great moments. Obviously, the kick of Ricochet getting destroyed from the off-camera kick from Mike Bailey was awesome. Kenny Omega. I'll say this: as much as I've shit on this show and this company, deservedly so, Kenny Omega finally feels like the biggest fucking deal.
Yeah.
And listen, that rocks. Okay, when it's Kenny Omega time, you're like, okay, I am locked the fuck in, and you're supposed to be locked the fuck in. So that was great. And Ricochet, never thought I'd say this. I love the guy.
Woo!
I was on the world of this guy. I don't want to see anything with
him. Brother, this guy stinks.
Yeah, but now like we like they kept slapping his head and calling him bald. That was hilarious. He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
And he's also good. And Speedball Mike Bailey. Listen. As long as I don't have to hear you cut a promo, we're good. when he started talking to the mic after kicking Ricochet and it didn't work, I was like, oh thank God. But no, this was great. This was great. Winning it with the top rope one-winged angel was crazy.
Yep.
I thought Speedball had an incredible showing. They kind of made this a Speedball showing.
Yeah. Him kicking the shit out of Ricochet and Omega the entire match ruled.
Yeah, he was awesome. Kenny was awesome. Ricochet was awesome. Yeah, if you cut off 10 minutes, it's probably like one of the best matches of the year. If you cut off 5, it's probably still
up there.
Yeah, but like it was just so long, so I couldn't go higher than a 4 personally. But I appreciate the work and what they put into it. They did their best to fill all 30 minutes. I'll give them that. It's just it didn't need to go 30 minutes.
Yeah, I fully agree with everything you just
especially said. At this time of the show. Yeah. Had this like been like the second match on the show, I also probably would have been better about it. But I was like, what are we doing? We still have a main event to go.
Yeah,
I was like, why is this so long?
Way too overstuffed. You need to cut out a bunch of ideas. It was just way too overstuffed. Easily just cut out 5 to 10 minutes.
That's the crazy part. It's not like they were just sitting around to waste time. There was always things going.
Yes, which I typically love. But like you can watching this match with all of my friends live. You can feel like the emotion of the room leave us, despite the match still kicking and ripping. Like all of us were just like
literally
all of us were just like, all right, okay,
let's end
this. We're now bored by too much. It was way too much sugar is what I'll say with this match. Way too much sugar, where too much of a good thing is what we really got in this match. It was
still
all great
to me,
all great, still great, but it was just like, all right, I've had my fill.
Could have been the all-timer. I think some people said had certain things went the other way, but still great. International title's great. Kenny's great. Kenny's actually amazing.
Yeah,
still it's actually impressive. I going into this, I was like, I don't like that his first defense is a 3-way, but they made the best of it. Obviously, again, cut some time off, and we're on the road to Omega versus Okada, which I like the way they're doing it. Of we're just gonna keep kind of grazing by it until All In. Nice to know Okada still exists.
Yeah, literally, I think this past week I was like, "Where's Okada? What happened to him? Is he got visa
issues?"
I
legitimately forgot he worked for them.
It was a champion.
I know he went back home. It just seems like he got to go back home. That was about it. Like I don't think there was a visa issue because he wasn't gone that long.
Yeah.
But he was gone long enough to be like, "Hello, where are you?" Yeah, it's good to see him back in the fold. He's been champion for a year now.
Yep. Good for him. Good for him.
It's been a reign.
Well, speaking about going back home to Japan, let's also join him in Japan and talk about Sakura Genesis.
Wait a minute. What was your rating for the show overall?
I can tell you it was a
Drum roll, please.
2.773
Out of
uh
5.
weighted scale, but yeah, I guess technically out of 5. I mean, the
Yeah,
highest
there's
the
no
highest match
highest.
I have on here is a 3.341.
You mean that show?
Yes, yeah. It is currently ranked my 16th best pay-per-view. It is behind New Beginning in Osaka, and it is above the CMLL Dos Leyendas show.
I think it's fair.
If that gives you some reference points.
I think it's fair.
Yeah, weakest AEW show I have on here so far. Literally, the AEW, if you want to look at it, is Revolution, Grand Slam Australia, and then Dynasty. I guess technically Dynasty, or sorry, Dynasty here. Wrestle Dynasty would be 1 overall if you want to count that as an AEW pay per view. I count it as New Japan.
You and me have liked to do this in the past. If I was to put it like high, middle, low of AEW pay per views, it's comfortably in the low.
I think it's, for me, it's probably in the low. Like it's one of those things.
3 bad matches weighed it down.
In the context of AEW, you still had 3 great matches. Maybe you can argue 4. I don't know what that 4th would be. I guess maybe Storm and Bane. But 3 great matches on here. But then you also had 3 stinkers. So yeah, I mean, in terms of the context of AEW, this is probably a low pay-per-view. It's, is what it is. It is what it is. I wonder if what did I say? A 2.773 or whatever. I wonder how that ranks compared to last year. For anything.
The good news is I've retired from AEW. So I bid farewell to All Elite Wrestling. I bid farewell to Tony Khan. I watched the Owen. And maybe Ryan could talk me back into it by Double or Nothing.
Well, so. I don't know if I'll be able to talk you in by Double or Nothing, but we're still going to talk about AEW on the show. We can't do the show and not talk about AEW.
Yeah, we can't. You can.
This show cannot be me discussing everything else and Scotty just discusses WWE and Joshi.
I talk about New Japan. Hold on. I'm about to talk about New Japan right now. I'm about to salivate at the idea of New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Well, then we'll talk about Windy City Riot, and then it's a little less.
All right, easy now. Listen. Baby steps. One show at a time, my guy.
Compared to last year, this pay-per-view Dynasty would have been my 39th show of the year, which would have been, I think, yes, it would have been my lowest ranked AEW pay-per-view last year as well.
Can't believe we thought the title was going to change on a B pay-per-view.
I mean, it changed on Dynasty last year.
I know. That was the problem.
My worst, look at this. My worst AEW pay-per-view last year was All in London. And that was ranked 18th. And this one last year would be 39th in comparison. This might be my lowest rated AEW pay-per-view ever. Holy shit. Oh my God.
You were unsure if I said low.
Yeah, I'm looking back to it. I gotta give
it. Definitely isn't the worst.
It doesn't.
I can remember.
It doesn't feel like the worst, but I can't remember what is.
But it certainly wasn't good. Wasn't good.
Yeah. I can't.
Was it Double or Nothing last year that stunk?
Let's see.
No.
Well, no, because nothing. According to me, nothing was worse last year than this.
2 years ago, I think I meant. Hold.
Last year was the 4-way. The 4 pillars 4-way.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah. Not last.
2 years ago.
Yeah, that's the one I remember as being really bad.
Yeah, Jade Cargill versus Taya Valkyrie. That was the Chris Statlander return defeating Jade. Wardlow versus Christian Cage ladder match for the TNT title, where a ladder breaks halfway through it and they can't figure out what to do.
Unsanctioned match: Adam Cole versus Chris Jericho.
Oh my god, that match sucked so bad. Oh my god, that shit was awful.
They also put the international title on the line in a battle royal just for Orange Cassidy to beat Swerve. I remember how mad I was at the end of that.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
probably the worst pay-per-view. I guess I have to see what it compares to, but
Yeah,
the
this show's pretty
Dynasty,
fucking bad, bro.
it's
Pretty
pretty
bad,
bad.
bro.
All right, we got to move on. Sakura Genesis, let's talk about it in Tokyo, Japan, of course. Big time show here. Let's quickly go through this show. I watched the
We won't
opener.
go quick. We're gonna take our time.
How much of the show did you watch? I know you watched the last 3, but did you watch the rest of the show?
I didn't watch the stupid belt.
Yeah, TV title.
Yeah. And I could not get myself to watch the trios. I think I watched everything else.
I watched also the opener of Daiki Nagai versus Ketsuya Murashima. I said last week that I don't think I've really seen any of these young lions, so I put it
So
on.
now you have.
I have. Daiki Nagai seems fine. Seems a solid, solid guy.
The young bloods coming back.
Do you see that? WXW said that they're done in WXW. Obviously, they can be in more European.
We didn't take our victory lap.
What was our victory lap?
AEW commentary fucking sucks.
Yeah, this week a lot of people talked about how much after Dynamite, a lot of people talked about the commentary team sucks and really went in on Taz and Tony, and even Excalibur was getting hits. And you and I just sat back being like, yeah, baby, we know.
Been talking about it for months.
Yeah,
it sucks. Anyways, to the
young lions.
young
Daiki Nagai
lions.
seems like a solid guy. Murashima, this guy is like an Ishii looking dude where he's short and stocky. And it's he won the match.
This is my Ishii.
Yeah, he has potential. Both these guys I guess have potential, but Murashima really entices me. Young Blood, we were talking about them. They're possibly coming back.
And
to New
Steven
Japan.
won the title. Shout out to Steven.
Yes. Young Blood potentially coming back to New Japan. We'll see.
Yeah,
They could still be sticking around, but for
While
right now.
Shota Umino has a world title match.
Well,
right?
That's interesting. New maybe Young Blood and Shota Umino as a faction. We'll talk about that.
It's gonna
more.
happen, man.
We'll talk about that more in a moment.
It won't have Sonata at least.
Yeah, Sonata versus Yu Uemura. Just fine, good match, good work.
Yeah, it was exactly what it needed to be. Short, sweet, to the point. Yu gets a big win.
Mm-hmm. It's what the Adam Cole, Daniel Garcia match should have been. El Phantasmo versus Great Khan for the World TV title match. Less
Which
than
one's Yu Uemura? Daniel Garcia.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Is Adam Cole the Sonata of AEW? Hold on. Let's think about this.
This is way worse to say because again, Sonata's lifetime injured now.
Yeah.
Adam Cole's fine.
Yeah. Well, I guess he also could be lifetime injured.
Yeah, that's true.
El Phantasmo versus Great Khan, another kind of whatever match, but Great Khan wins the title from a count out. Which I believe that is a way to win this title. So Great Khan is your new World TV title holder. That's fine. That's okay, cool.
Can't believe we're still trying with this guy.
I agree. I don't know what else we're going to do with this guy, Great Khan. And same thing with El Phantasmo. It's just I don't really... Okay, great. He lost the World TV title. Now what? Is he going to move up? To what?
Where is he going to move up? What is he going to do? He's not better than any option for the other titles.
Yeah, it's a guy. El Phantasmo is a guy that needs to leave New Japan because there's nothing more for him to do here.
Where do you want him to go?
Where do I want him to go? MLW, baby, woo woo woo! Him and Machine Gunka, tearing it up in 2300 arena.
Dear God! All right,
where would I want him to go? I don't know. I mean, it's really it's at this point in time, it's WWE or AEW, obviously.
TNA.
TNA would be fun. It's not a bad choice, I don't think.
All right, fun's a bit much. TNA is not fun as a company.
TNA
stinks.
He could do well in TNA, I think.
Speaking of TNA, are we gonna watch Unbreakable?
Unbreakable. We'll discuss we'll discuss it next week, I guess.
What in the fuck is that match?
We'll discuss next week. Hiroshi Tanahashi
We're
versus.
discussing that.
I'm trying to get through the show. Hiroshi
No,
Tanahashi.
we are going to review this correctly.
Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Shota Umino. Go.
It was fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
It was fine. I had no problems with it. I think Tanahashi had a good match with Shingo. By the way,
Yeah, me too.
for anyone that cares, this was fine.
Well, I guess we
Shota
didn't talk about
Umino.
those matches too.
Shota Umino hits a good lariat.
Yeah.
I'll actually save the take for later.
Yeah, when we get to the world title stuff.
Yes.
I thought, I guess we'll do a quick detour here. I also agree. I thought the Shingo match was probably the best Tanahashi retirement tour match so far. That was really good. Not great, but like really.
I like him
good.
and Goto, and then I like him and Shingo.
Yeah, that's fair.
Top two, I think.
And then for the Junior Genesis, I thought the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title match was great. 4-star flat, great match. And I thought Despy Clark Connors a little bit too long, but
yeah,
at
it was
30
it was fun.
Minutes,
it was a blast though.
But it was a blast, and I went same. I gave the same rating I gave to three-way, 3 3/4.
I gave both of those 3 3/4. I thought they were both very good.
Mm-hmm.
The table spot was psychotic.
Yes.
The table spot where they jump off the top rope and do a full like spine buster through the table. That was nuts.
Yeah. Yes.
I watched Clark Connors there and I'm like, he is so miscasted. Like, I don't think the War Dogs do him a lot of good because he's a junior and everyone else is a heavyweight now.
Yeah. Yes.
It's really weird because he doesn't have the same personality as those guys. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know. I like Clark Connors a lot. I thought him and Despy had a very fun, enjoyable match. And I don't know what Clark Connors does now. Is he in the Best of Super Juniors?
Yes.
I'm intrigued by that.
I think he'll do well. I don't think he'll win, but I think he'll do well.
I will say this. Tekla fits better in the War Dogs than she does Hate. I will say that. When she showed up, I was like, this should be your role.
She fits the vibe.
Yeah, she does, which is very obviously what she's been going for in her character. And it's like, it doesn't make sense away from the War Dogs. It's a War Dogs thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out Clark Connors, shout out Despy, shout out the tag match. All very good. I think they probably deserve more respect from this week, truthfully.
Yep.
But so much happened. It's hard to.
They had some of the best matches of this week for sure.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of good matches this week.
Yeah.
I like looking back and thinking about it. I guess there should have been. There were 2 major shows. But yeah, those were good. And the next match we're talking about was also great. Wait, we're talking about the trios. Never mind. I didn't watch that. It's not on my sheet. I take it back. I heard that was terrible.
It wasn't. It was not that great. It was just
who won?
The House of Torture won because Sonata came out
already
turned heel, and House of Torture.
They turned heel.
Technically, I guess because War Dogs are like baby face tweeners.
He's in the right group now.
Yes, we can all agree on that.
Like I legitimately think if he's gonna be a heel, his vibe fits better there, anyways.
Yep.
And he's second to Evil, so that's all that matters.
As everything is right, as nature has returned.
Buddy, the fact that Evil has one of my most hyped matches against a guy I can't stand for WrestleMania week, that's the power of Evil, buddy.
Yeah, the match was a lot of brawling, basically. So
I need to talk about my king. I need to talk about my king I know we're gonna talk about his match, but this guy said, I gotta go to WrestleMania for one reason. Book me, people. He's like, I'll take one booking and I'll do WrestleCon for one day.
His wife isn't even booked for the show, I don't think. His wife's still gone, right?
EO?
Oh, sorry. Yes, you're right. EO. For some reason, I thought it was Kyrie for some reason in my brain.
No, EO is very booked.
Yes, very, very prominently booked. Well,
I don't know. I don't think they're married, but it's pretty well known. Like, yes, And the only shame of it all is we can't get another. I think I saw Evil in 7-Eleven.
Whoa, is that Evil sitting in attendance at WrestleMania?
We can't have that moment again.
Is that Evil sitting in like the middle of a bunch of fans at WrestleMania wearing a full suit?
He learned from last year that he's like, I could have got paid for this.
Yeah.
I could have got money out of this. This year, I'm going big.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where like I accidentally became really important at my job, except I really became important at being a trophy husband again. Because obviously Evil's trophy husband. Or whatever he is.
I agree.
I agree. Hey, listen, Evil, handsome guy. Shout out to the big Evil.
I would argue hot not only stands for House of Torture, it stands for evil.
You're cooking. You're cooking. That's my King of Darkness. Am I right? All right, let's move on. We're gonna praise him again in 5 minutes. So just
King of Darkness is what I call him when I turn off the lights.
You can tell we've been here too long, folks. Oh, only on Ring Post Radio. Holy. Dear God. Dear God.
Okay. All right. Next match. Never open. Do we have any other bits? I don't think we have any other bits.
Oh, wait a minute.
There we go. Close off there. Never open weight title match. Konosuke Takeshita versus Ryohei Oiwa. I thought this match was, again, really, really great. It didn't live up to my super high expectations, but again, I thought this match was really, really great. Takeshita becomes the most winningest never openweight champion with the most defenses in his title's history, which is a crazy stat that exists. But they really like Takeshita, if you believe it.
I do too. I gave it 4 flat because I like these two a lot. I still think it should have been better, oddly enough.
Agreed.
They don't let the Never have long matches. So, like, I guess I should probably settle into this spot now.
Sure.
Right? If they were to get, like, semi-main event time, it would be different. But Oiwa rocks. I don't know about the trunks, though. I like the pants on him. That was my random take when I saw him show up the trunks. I was like, oh, I don't know. I mean, he didn't look bad.
Agreed.
But, like, I like the pants. He awesome, obviously. Oiwa's rocks. It's funny how the young guys all of a sudden are good when you just don't include Shota, yet who keeps getting the world title matches. I really like this, and Takeshita should probably win the world title eventually.
This my takeaway from this match was that it was a really fun G1 climax match. You know what I mean? Like 12 minutes. It
reminded me of
real
Takeshita's run, actually.
Yeah. Like this was like the main event of like some town, and like a really great main event.
You're like, wow, that was great. I didn't waste my time.
Exactly. Fun match. I would have loved, both of us would have loved to see more. And maybe they can have more down the line, but yeah, it's just one of those, again, a feather in the cap of they really love Takeshita. He's a really great wrestler, and Oiwa is a guy that's on the rise shortly.
Yeah. Speaking of really great wrestlers, that's not what we're going to talk about in this next match.
IWGP Tag Team Title match: Hiromu Takahashi and Tetsuya Naito versus Jeff Cobb and Callum Newman. Jeff Cobb
was evil.
No, Jeff Cobb and Callum Newman pick up the win, which is crazy. Callum Newman wins by defeating Tetsuya Naito officially, finally, after so many singles matches with the guy. And then WWE signed Jeff Cobb, picks up the IWGP Tag title. What is this? Carl Anderson? Machine Gunka? Getting too much airtime on the show. Machine Gunka winning the Never?
I would argue not enough. Some would argue we were better off back in 2012.
2012. That was
the G1 final. This was fine.
Yeah.
I don't have much takes about, like, this is where I sit with Naito as is. As long as it's fine, I don't think it's a failure.
I thought
Cobb was really good in this match.
Cobb was really good, and the crowd was so into the Callum Newman story of overcoming Naito. That elevated the match and to a fine for me to like. All right, here we go. All right, maybe there's something here when we eventually do the rankings of this group of people, I think I might appeal of removing Ren Narita and subbing him in Callum Newman. Because at this point, it's like, I think we got to put in Newman a little bit here and talk about him.
I don't like Callum Newman.
I know you don't like him, but he's an IWGP Tag Team Champion. It's like,
That's
all right.
True, he is.
Compared to Ren Narita, who's technically also a Tag Team Champion, but I don't give a shit, and he's always going to be low, and no one talks about him anymore.
I don't know why they put the belts on these two. That was my main thought when I was watching.
Well, they're putting the belts on these two so that they can get the belts on Raw, obviously. Come on, Scotty.
No, you make a great point. No, you got me there.
Yeah. Final match for Willis. Great. The crowd's super into Newman, which is exciting to see. Yota Tsuji versus Evil, IWGP Global Heavyweight Title. You were going to say something about a bad wrestler?
Whoa. Bad wrestler.
Okay, good. Are we in agreement?
There's not a bad wrestler here.
Hold on. So we're in agreement. This match ruled?
Oh yeah, it was a great time.
I went 4 flat.
That's not surprising. I know the Evil recipe to get you there.
And this was it, baby. Woo!
Yeah. Here's the thing. Evil rocks. Anyone that thinks otherwise, you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I went
5 flat. Wow, crazy.
Yeah, I did. I went 3 3/4. So
that basically
yeah. I think Evil fucking rules.
Yeah, baby.
You think like it's not a bit, okay? I hope the people that watch this show is not a bit. I don't like AEW and I love Evil. Sue me, man. Like this is where I'm at. I've always loved Evil. The King of Darkness knows his role. He does his role perfectly well. And this is one of those matches where it works. But both times he's had to do this with Tsuji, which was this year, and I think last year's New Japan Cup, where Tsuji beat him both times. He's delivered. And the double, the powder to the face, and then the alcohol to the face, I was like, yes, this is great. Because Evil's just like, I already can't see, man. And he just the Gene Blaster that he hit on him just was fantastic to win the match.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan's jeans were all blasted after the match. Big Tsuji bringing out his brother again. Big pop every time he does that. That was a great like entrance thing. Like, I want to get you, because like you can't tell until like you get closer to him and you're like, oh, he kind of looks smaller, and then boom. Yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah, great match. This is you're right, exactly right. The right formula of a babyface overcoming all the bullshit is perfectly in line with what it's done, with having great Evil matches. This is the formula to do that. Evil, this is the kind of match that showcases why Evil is such a great wrestler, character, heel troll in this company. It's matches like this. And
We talked a lot about bad heels today.
And I will say this, yes, before you get to your point, Scotty, I will say Evil is so good. Yota Tsuji was also fantastic. It turns out Evil was not the only guy blasting my jeans. Yota Tsuji was also great. You trampled over my joke, and it's fine.
That's absurd.
But Yota Tsuji was also great.
I heard every word you just said.
You were going to talk about heels.
Oh, yeah. Evil's a good heel.
Yeah, he gets the crowd reaction.
I know.
He gets me excited for Yota Tsuji. He got me excited for fucking Tama Tonga, baby.
That's true. I saw someone say that John Moxley was like if Evil was world champion. I was like, that's so disrespectful. That's so not even remotely true. Like that. Like Evil has always gotten legitimate heat.
Yes,
that is what they spent the 2 years of him really never losing to be for. So now when he loses, which is pretty much all the time, by the way,
in big matches at the very least, obviously,
it's great. It gets the guy over. The crowd's into it. The crowd was so hot for this.
Yes,
like it was. Oh man, I love Evil.
Yes, this is how you do it. This is how you do it, folks.
Never lets me down, and it was huge for Suge. He really benefited from this match. You know, you got to work the Evil match, right? The Evil match, and if you have the exciting offense that Tsuji does, it works. And I think why I like this so much too is that Tsuji could never run out of ideas in this match because we're going to limit your ideas to when you hit them, they mean a little bit more.
Yeah.
That Evil, good with the psychology. Just saying.
Because of the match layout, he is able to make your moves more meaningful when you hit them. That is wrestling should be.
Evil, great. John Moxley, you should go to school. Go to School of Evil. This guy rocks, man. Shout out to Shingo, by the way. Even the field when he hit the pumping bomber at the end, I was like, yeah. And it was that followed by the Gene Blaster. It was like, or Gene Blast. What the fuck's his move called?
I don't know. I don't care.
Is it the Gene Blast?
I think it's the Gene Blast.
I like Gene Blaster. Yeah, no, it was a great time. The OEW match and my main event. Had a great time. Sakura Genesis was good.
Yeah, main event of the show, of course, IWGP World Heavyweight Title match. David Finlay versus Hiroki Goto. David Finlay loses to Hiroki Goto.
He was awesome in the
He was great in this match. Legitimately, this was a great match again. Hiroki
was my
Goto,
match of the week if it could count as match of the week.
That's fair. Yeah. Hiroki Goto was great in here. David Finlay was also great in here. This is everything. Everything
a real
we wanted.
Fucking heel, man.
Everything we wanted. Everything we wanted.
It's so weird that heels are feuding. Just to bring up that I remember that I'm saying real heels about back-to-back guys, remembering that these two are feuding.
Well, it's like we said, War Dogs are tweeners at the end of the day, and I think the House of Torture feud is meant to turn War Dogs babyface fully. So I think that's what is happening. But this match was great. David Finlay again, another great outing. I said it last year, and I'll say it again this year. He's a great wrestler. He is easily the best foreigner in New Japan right now. Better than Zack.
He's currently my New Japan Wrestler of the Year with Hiroki Goto right behind him.
Yeah, I think that's completely fair. Hiroki Goto rules right now. And the more important thing is they're sticking with Goto, which is fascinating. That was the big talking point of, it felt like David Finlay when Goto won the title, it was like, okay, David Finlay's going to win off of him. Turns out money draw. And it's like, yeah, let's continue with Goto. And they're going for it. They're going for it.
I found this match to be legitimately fantastic. One of my favorite world title matches of the year. Embodied everything that makes David Finlay great, that makes Hiroki Goto great. I think this was quite easily, like I said, my favorite match of the week that I saw in real time. I watched some old matches. But like this is what New Japan is about. That kind of was my takeaway. David Finlay's style is so exciting as a heel, and it's so great. And him being this powerhouse brawler, I can't stop bringing it up, was such a good change for him of just kind of going to what he did well and ramping it up in many ways to a main event style. Hiroki Goto, man, oh man, oh man. The reason Hiroki Goto's here is because David Finlay got sick last year. And in many ways, New Japan's so lucky that this happened in a way. Like, obviously, it sucked that Finlay had to go through what he did, but Finlay's somehow also better off because of it. Like, both of them are in such a place now where it's like you were fine with whoever won.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing. Like, David Finlay winning wouldn't have batted an eye, would have celebrated him. But at the same time, how do you take the belt off of Goto right now?
And now I think you're looking into this.
He's drawing bigger than Naito did last year.
Yes. I think you're also looking at the way through David Finlay of, he's heading into this, I think, face turn with Evil in this dog kennel match, whatever, this War Games match, basically, right? You know what I mean, the War Games match that they're basically doing. And then he's heading into the G1 Climax. And again, it's like David Finlay can easily be a contender to win the whole G1
he should
Climax.
Be a finalist.
I think at least he's a finalist. Who he's against, I don't know. But I think he's at least a finalist.
Yeah.
He is going to win the world title at some point. Soon. It's just a question of when.
The only reason he wouldn't is if he left, and I don't want him to leave. So, I don't want him to leave till he gets that. At least,
Agreed.
I think he's earned it. And I think the New Japan office sees that for him as well. He's fantastic. He really is fantastic. Legitimately been one of the best wrestlers in the world this year.
Yep.
And the same goes for Goto. Like I said, fantastic championship match. One of my favorite world championship matches of the year in any promotion. Just bravo to both of them. I'm very excited to see what's next for both of them. Well, I know what's next for Finlay.
We do know what's next.
And Goto, I guess, but I mean kind of long term. That being said, to go into what's next, I walked away from last night saying, I can't believe Shota Umino is going to have a better match this week than Jon Moxley versus Swerve Strickland.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out.
That's how much I believe in Goto.
Yeah.
Like
I know.
Unless now Shota Umino wins, we'll have different conversations. I don't think he's gonna because one, it's in America.
Yeah.
Two, we already did that last year and it was not worth it. And two, why would you take the belt off of Hiroki Goto?
Agreed.
For Shota Umino.
Agreed.
Come on.
Shota Umino sucks. If anything, I could see like the G1 Climax being a finals between David Finlay and Shota Umino. That makes sense.
I'll say this, man. I'd rather watch Shota Umino right now than Jon Moxley.
The psychic damage again. That's an insane statement that I don't think it's false. That's what sucks. That's what sucks is that I don't think you're wrong. I'm trying to look up.
I wish I was.
I know. I wish you were too. Well, speaking of, Windy City Riot is also around the corner. In fact, it is this Friday in the Wintrust Arena in Chicago, Illinois. So we do know what's exactly up next for David Finlay, Shota Umino,
it's a card,
and
man.
Hiroki Goto. I got the card right in front of us. We'll go.
It's a card.
We'll go through it. Starting at the top of the card, going to the bottom. Well, I actually don't know the order here, but
it's in order on New Japan website.
Okay, perfect.
If you go under the full card preview and go to the bottom,
full card preview. What in result? What news schedule?
Hold.
Private
chat.
Private chat. Thank you, sir. Okay,
and then
perfect.
Scroll to the bottom and then go up. Don't talk about the kickoff match. I don't know what that is.
Oh yeah, the kickoff match, New Japan Strong Style. People that are in the strong dojo. I don't know any of these people. First match, TJP versus Tom Lawler. It was revealed earlier this week that TJP has no contract in New Japan. He declined the contract in New Japan, but he is still working for them, which is a weird thing.
Kept him out best of Super Juniors.
That's what that did. So we're gonna see him face Tom Lawler here. What do you think of this one? Is this going to be also the going away of TJP? Maybe.
I have legitimately zero interest in this match.
I figure I'm kind of in the same boat as well.
I haven't really enjoyed either. Well, I really don't. I don't think Tom Lawler's the wrestler he was. And TJP's TJP. I mean, you know what you're getting there.
Yeah. It's the opener. With these two. Next up. Second match, New Japan Strong Women's Championship #1 contendership match, Azumi versus Mina Shirakawa.
Wait, say it right. AEW's Mina
AEW. It's like Azumi? AEW? Oh, okay.
She's officially gone.
Yes. AEW's Mina Shirakawa versus Azumi here. The next challenger, of course, will be facing Mercedes Moné, whoever wins this match. I don't know.
Resurgence.
Thank you. So I have to imagine it's... Well, Mercedes Moné has faced both in individual action here.
She never faced Azumi one-on-one.
Oh, I thought she did. Okay,
it was
then
a three-way. They made it a three-way like last second with Suzuki.
Oh, yes. I thought I knew of that match, but I thought they had a singles match later.
I always do too, to be fair. They never actually did.
Well, then Azumi is probably going to win here, right? Because of that.
Yeah, it should be Azumi versus Mercedes should be great. So I'm all for it. Mina can put over someone one last time on the way out. kind of, I guess, because she hasn't debuted in AEW yet. So,
Yeah.
well, she had, you know what I mean, as an official roster member. Kind of a weird thing. It's like, well, she's been there. But yeah, I have no problem with it. If Mina wins, I'm gonna laugh because it's like, what? Why? What? We just had that match literally 2 months ago. No, it should be Azumi. Azumi's over there early for the WrestleMania festivities. I think she's wrestling like Hyan on like a house prestige show or something the day after. I was like, what is going on?
Okay.
But she got over there early. Get them dates in. If you're available, get them dates in. Get yourself paid.
Well, why not?
But last year when to see her at, she put on a show with Stephanie Vaquer. So
yep.
Hopefully her and Mina can do the same thing here.
Yeah, makes sense. Third match, New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team titles. The world class.
Weird.
The world. Also, this says World Class Wrecking Crew. I guess they've upgraded from
they
West
changed their
Coast.
name.
West Coast Wrecking Crew is now World Class Wrecking Crew. Royce Isaacs and Jarrell Nelson defending the titles against the Intergalactic Jet Setters, Kevin Knight and Kushida.
Kevin Knight's also in this weird role where he still has like all these dates to finish, kind of. I mean, he's not done with New Japan very clearly. I think he has a dual contract kind of right now. I've heard.
I don't think was he announced as an AEW guy for the Best of Super Juniors?
No.
I don't think he was.
No, he was not. So it seems like he has a dual contract, which is good for him. Obviously, get your money, buddy. But it's weird because AEW very clearly wants to make him a big deal, and when he's doing the other dates, it's like, well, he's still in the tag team. But I like the Intergalactic Jet Setters, so they should. I don't think they call them that anymore, by the way. Like, I think they got rid of Intergalactic. I think they're just the Jet Setters now, but whatever. I mean, it says it on here. I understand that.
This is the
but like, I never hear them say Intergalactic anymore. Anyways, they're obviously not going to win. So
yeah, it's going to be another defense for the World Class Wrecking Crew. Third match here, New Japan Strong Openweight Championship Iron Man match. Do we have 30-minute time period? It looks like is going to be the thing. 30-minute Iron Man match, Gabe Kidd versus Tomohiro Ishii. I fully expect Gabe Kidd to win here, but this match is going to be a fun. I think it has to be a great match, in my opinion, to really get me going.
The last one wasn't. So
yeah, the last one wasn't. So if this one can just be better than that, that would be ideal. But I do have concerns with 30 minutes of an Iron Man match here. Ishii is older. Gabe Kidd is 100% going to do a lot of brawling and talking to pad out the time. So that's a lot of concerns for me. I don't love that. I would love just 30 minutes of action, but I don't necessarily think we're going to get that here.
Yeah, I'm not at all interested in this match because of the 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Too long. And it's in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
So like, oh, here's a 30-minute Iron Man match and then 4 other matches. Like, come on, man. I'm also sick of the 30-minute matches after this past couple days. I've had my fill. I'm not a negative Nelly. I put over Evil. Okay? Listen, I put over Evil. I put over Joshi.
Kevin Knight.
Put over Kevin Knight. I think that's good. I put over Steven. One called Manders. I call him Steven because I don't like him.
I was like, Jack Black from Minecraft? The biggest movie of the year?
I am Steve.
Are you going to watch that movie?
I don't know. My sister said it's the worst movie she ever saw, and she likes Minecraft. So
I'm fascinated to see how the box office does.
I'm kind of tempted. But at the same time, I kind of cringe at the idea that people speak about it like they do the whole clapping and everything within that movie of all movies. Like when Captain America said Avengers Assemble, that was worth it. When you're saying I am Steve, fuck off.
Yeah, I think they're
or Chicken Jockey.
Yeah, I think they're just memeing the movie, and I think it's gonna have like the like a Morbius sort of like people are just making.
It might be okay because of kids though.
Yeah, I think kids are gonna enjoy it
because kids like it. So I think they'll keep the week 2 pretty decent.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna fall off, obviously.
Oh,
like all week 2s. It's just
actually criminal that beat like Sonic and like the Mario movie.
Yes,
like the movies that I legitimately enjoy.
Biggest box office weekend of the year is the Minecraft movie.
Yeah. And the biggest in video game adaptation history.
Already? It had 1 week of the box
Biggest
office.
opening weekend.
Okay,
Opening
okay.
weekend.
I was
Opening
about to
weekend.
say, I was like,
My
oh,
apologies. My apologies. No, I mean, it was going to be tough to beat Mario. Mario went crazy.
yeah. I'm surprised.
Sonic went crazy too, actually.
I don't know. I'm surprised they haven't announced. I don't think it's been announced a Fortnite movie in development. Like that seems like.
I don't know how you do it, but I agree.
Look, I don't know. I don't fucking know how you do a Minecraft movie, and it just did.
That's true.
Numbers.
That's true, man. I guess no, this is not. Move on.
Fifth match: Rocky Romero and El Phantasmo versus Naito and Teton.
The only reason I'm watching this match is because of Teton. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. Everything else, I was like,
not Rocky, not a little Rock.
Teton and Rocky are kind of the combo, so that's kind of just what I expect. They'll be good. Teton not in the best of Super Juniors as of this moment.
Yes, they do have an open slot for CMLL wrestler, but I assume they're going to decide on
like
a CMLL show. Yeah,
I'm kind of sad.
I'm also surprised they just didn't like announce Templario, but maybe are they not considering
he's having the
junior?
title match?
What's
well, he's challenging Desperado, just not here.
Oh, interesting.
He challenged him. So
interesting. So I don't know. We'll see.
Which should be great, by the way. Templario versus.
Yeah.
But no, I was kind of upset. I want Teton and another CMLL guy, not one of them.
Yeah.
Instead, we got they didn't ask Noah. Ninja Mac.
Is he in it? Is he in it?
Yeah.
Mao's in it.
Mao's in it, which wasn't a shot. Noah didn't get another person in it, which made me laugh. Hayata was that bad.
I don't blame him.
I know. So
who from Noah would even bring it at this point? Yohei?
I guess.
Alejandro would be fun.
Yeah, Alejandro would have been good actually.
Junta Miyawaki. They wouldn't do that, but I think Junta Miyawaki actually might be a good idea to do.
That would have been a good one. That would actually be a really good one. Dragon Dai is back in it too, so we'll see if he gets more than 2 points.
Where's Dragon Bane and
they just announced they're coming back for the big show. Big show.
Thank God.
Next
I've been
month?
missing them. I've been missing them all 6 months. Yes, the Memorial.
They're returning. They're returning on that show. So, thank God. I missed them.
6 match. Special singles match. Zack Sabre Jr. versus David Finlay. I think this would be good.
Yeah, I have so much confidence in David Finlay. So, should be good. I mean, they had a really good match in the Cup. So,
yep.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Why is Taguchi in this? He said goodbye last year.
And I think you said goodbye the year before too, if I recall.
Like, come on, man. That's the one. That should be Teton.
Teton should come out of nowhere and just like punch. Okay. Interesting.
Who else is in this? Is Master Wato in this? Yes, he is. Oh, there's a full. They put Hiromu, Despy in the same block. Oh, that's good. No final. Kosei Fujin is in this block too. Yeah. Kashida's in this block. This is a pretty good block. Kevin Knight. Oh, okay. I kind of like this block.
Yeah. We'll talk about Best of Super Juniors in a couple weeks, I think, right? When does this start?
Yeah. The other block is crazy.
Yeah, the other block is a bunch of wackos.
It
starts May 10th. So we're
good not for Nick Wayne, by the way.
We're not going to talk about this for a while.
I would have preferred like Big Shotty, because I'm a big Shotty guy. And he never gets to do anything, but it's fine. Let's talk about the next match, which Zach and Finlay should be good.
Yes.
I don't have many thoughts about that. Like, it's just them. David Finlay should win.
Yes, a nice little bounce. Well, it sucks because it's like a nice little bounce back for David Finlay, but Zack Sabre Jr. on a losing track. That's former
fine.
IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, losing all the time.
He's probably gonna win and then like challenge for the world title. I'm gonna cry.
At this point, I think also if I'm looking at these sort of matches, like a special singles like this, I'm looking at this and being like, okay, I'm going to circle this match for when it comes up in the G1 climax and whatever form it comes up in. You know what I mean? Like that's what this match feels like. Also, they're giving these stats here for the singles record 1-1 for David Finlay and Zack Sabre Jr. So this is their third singles match.
I'm admittedly very excited about the next match.
Yeah, I know you are. Next match, 7th match, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Konosuke Takeshita. No never title on the line, but this is Tanahashi versus Takeshita. You know Tanahashi is
Final
going to put
U.S. match.
last U.S. match. You know for a fact Tanahashi is going to go as much as he can because not only is it last match in the U.S., but he loves Takeshita.
I think my favorite thing about the Tanahashi retirement run is you can tell he is giving everything he can to every
Yes.
match.
He's trying
You know,
really, really hard.
It's something you really appreciate. Like he's had so many singles matches this past week alone, and it's like, man, this guy is putting everything he can into each match, and you really do appreciate that. And he's gonna put Takeshita over huge here. That I think is gonna be really cool to see him do. Takesha's obviously winning. That's not a shock. That's not a question. I'd like to see a good direction for Takeshita from here. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. The main event's something.
Main event, of course, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match. Hiroki Goto versus Shota Umino. A guy I want to, every time I see him in the ring, want to bang my head against the wall. I am lacking of interest in this. I love Goto. We love Goto on this show. Shota Umino.
Yeah, we don't love him. We don't love
only.
Shota Umino.
It has now come to pass, Scotty, that the only difference between Shota Umino pre and post haircut was a haircut.
And the lariat.
Great.
It's a good lariat.
He puts a little more oomph in his lariat.
I don't think he ever hit one before.
Good on him. He is nothing.
Bald. Yet. He's gonna turn heel. They keep hinting at it, but they keep pushing it off. One more failure. Yeah, I'm odd for this match. Well, on one hand, I don't want to see Shota Umino at all in a world title match. On the other hand, my belief in Hiroki Goto is through the freaking roof.
This is his second world title match in
it's
4 months.
Yeah, it's not good. Someone had a great tweet. I don't think the solution to making Shota Umino figure it out is more world title matches, which is true. It's not my choice. But I did say America doesn't deserve good things these days, so this is why they're getting Shota Umino in a world title match.
I can agree to that. I can agree to that, brother.
So there's that. Yeah, I don't care really as long as Goto wins. If Goto can get 3.5 stars out of him,
a miracle.
Just give him the best world champion of the year. His reign can end the day after, as far as I'm concerned. And I'd be like, all right, we're good. Coming up, not that he has much competition so far, at least in the world of men's professional wrestling, because his competition is soon to be Jey Uso. John Moxley.
Well, potentially John Cena.
that might be competition. I mean, I don't know how much he's going to work, so it might not be. Currently it's Cody, I guess, but Cody's not. I don't think Cody's defended the title since the Rumble, so not much competition there either. You'd think that'd be talked about more, by the way. I guess he was supposed to defend the belt at Elimination Chamber. Remember they sent up him and Solo, and then The Rock was like, hey,
yeah,
what if he didn't? Which, to be fair, that's fine. But yeah, shout out to Hiroki Goto. If he gets anything passable out of Shota Umino, it's a win for him, and I guess a win for Shota. I don't care about Shota. I don't want to watch Shota, but we have to watch Shota.
Shota Umino is 100%. I'm putting my chips down now. Going to be in the G1 Climax final, and I fear that he may win the G1.
Oof baboof.
And that's our show, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this week's episode of Ring Post Radio. Obviously, again, this is on a Monday, so we appreciate everyone moving over their schedules to watch us live, and obviously to listen to us live, and listen to us after the fact, wherever you get podcasts. We'll be back next week on Sunday with a big time show again. We're going to obviously review Windy City Riot, but we then are going to have our big time WrestleMania preview. we'll go day by day talking about some of the shows that we are excited to see, that we plan on watching, and sort of discussing how we are going to review the shows that we are both watching the week after all these sort of things, because WrestleMania is around the corner. We have a bunch of fun stuff planned for the week, not just on Ring Post Radio Audio. Well, also potentially, we still got to schedule it on Ring Post Radio Audio, but also on the Patreon, patreon.com/countoutpod, $5 tier. So a lot of fun stuff we have planned. Hopefully, as long as we all get our asses in gear, but we will have that for you hopefully soon. Scotty, give us your match of the week and some plugs.
Okay. Sorry, gotta go back into the world of what did I watch this week.
Going I'm gonna assume it's something off of here. I'll help you out. Something off of Stardom, Niter, and Corrigan.
Yeah, we'll go with Tam versus Soriano. All right. Anyways, moving on from that. That was my match of the week. Plugs. I say this every week, but it's the only two things I do. So I'm gonna say it again. JoshiInformer.substack.com. Subscribe each and every week. We have a full fleshed out Joshi info newsletter for everyone that's interested in the world of Joshi. Maybe you just follow Stardom and you can't keep up. Maybe you follow American wrestling, but you want to get into Joshi. Whatever it may be, we have you covered with news, reviews, results, anything and everything. We have a very big month ahead. 2 months, I should say. We are going to be doing a lot, obviously, with all the US shows. Next week. Fuck, we're already at next week. I was thinking about that. Just a funny little, for instance. I was thinking about oh my god, WrestleMania is already here, and I was like, usually it's already over. So it's not like that feel. It's very weird. Anyways, we'll be covering that. Rob will be in Las Vegas, so we'll have some of the in the building reactions too on our newsletter. So that'll be very cool. Yeah. And All-Star Grand Queendom's obviously coming up, so kind of a massive deal. We're going to put so much work into that as we build towards that. The card is mostly Phil, looking like one of the best shows of the year on paper. We'll see how the delivery is. We'll see if Tam actually retires. Speaking of Tam actually retires, 5-star Joshi show each and every Friday. That's over on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@ScottEWrestling. We are on a nice roll here. Like I said, the 2 biggest months of the year in Joshi are happening right fucking now. You want to get locked in, baby. You want to be locked in. I have every little bit you need to know. It was a good week in the world of Joshi, so go check out the latest episode. Like I said, every Friday. I also put out other stuff. I know for a fact tomorrow, me and Trent put a video together talking an old match. So if you want to hear Trent talk for the first time in a long time and hear how he's doing, check that out as well. A little Stardom Road reunion. He'll not be back full time, but I'm getting him closer. Jungle Kiona is one of his favorite wrestlers of all time, and the fact that she is back at all, pushing it. Let's just say after we finish that recording, Jungle Kiona's thing was announced, and let's just say he was floored. So maybe I can get Trent back. We're baby steps here, but if you're interested in hearing how he's doing, definitely check that out tomorrow on the YouTube channel. And that's it. Obviously, listen to us on Ring Post Radio each and every Sunday or Monday this month because we are very messy.
Yeah.
Not our fault, though.
Nope.
Next week's our only normal week of the month.
Next week is Sunday. The week after that's Monday for sure.
Next week after that's Monday, and then All-Star Grand Queen is going to fuck me up, so we'll not be doing the morning of Sunday. We'll probably do the night.
You'll probably go head to. You're telling me we're going to go head to head with TNA Rebellion?
Happily. Happily. We can watch it at the same time. We can actually do a watch along of Rebellion, nothing else. That show looks awful, by the way. Anyways, that's that. Thank you for having me. Thank you for listening to me rant about AEW. I know I'm gonna have to still talk about it. I know the people are gonna still want me to talk about it, obviously, considering that multiple people said, wow, all-time show coming tomorrow the moment Swerve lost. I was like, all right, Thanks, man. Thanks for being happy with my pain. But I like to use my pain to entertain the people. So that's it from me. Thank you.
My match of the week is from 1987. Let me hear it out for the crowd. 1987. Woo! It was from New Japan IWGP Champion Series Night 22, June 9th in Osaka, Japan. 4-star match with Riki Choshu and Yoshiaki Fujiwara. It was fun. It was bloody, which I wasn't expecting. 12
Can
minutes.
I get why you watch it?
Someone put together on Twitter a thread of best matches of every year.
That happens.
And that was one of the matches they put up, and so I watched that one.
Yeah, I was fascinated to see, like, is this a project? Is this just a thing that popped up? Because you're a busy guy. I knew it wasn't for the ballot. That's the only thing I knew.
It was Jack Shears Graps on Blue Sky, and I don't know if they're still on Twitter, but they do like threads of stuff every once in a while, and they put up a thread a while ago of some of the best matches of every year, and that was one of them. So I watched that. So shout out Jack Shears Graps. Yeah, he did his job. He did his job indeed. Well, speaking about all those other side projects, we'll have another episode of the ballot out this week. I am recording it tomorrow. So it's going to come out this Wednesday on the 9th. So a very quick turnaround for me.
What's it about?
It's going to be about Les Kellett, who is a British comedy wrestler, arguably, probably not even arguably, certifiably, possibly, one of the best comedy wrestlers of all time. A really great episode, legitimately great guest lined up. I don't like talking about the guests until I have it fully recorded, so you won't find out until on Wednesday. But I also I have one really great, fun, like wrestling historian on as planned for the guest, and we also have some audio from a wrestler as well.
That's cool.
That will be played during the episode.
Big time episode.
So if you know anything about Les Kellett, you can probably guess what wrestler's audio I have discussing Les Kellett that he made specifically for the show. So
can I get a boom boom?
No. Big Boom AJ is not on the show. So I will confirm that. Big Boom AJ is not on the show. But yes, perhaps someone of a similar ilk.
I thought that was a wrestling historian. That's my bad.
Yes, that might be of a similar ilk. But yes.
Who can I ask you who is after this one?
Oh, in May?
Yeah. It's gonna be May.
It's gonna be May. I am considering Masaki Mochizuki.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of I'm considering Masaki Mochizuki. I'm also actually considering Io Sky. Because I think
you tell me that one.
I was considering it. I'm also considering Io Sky. But because Masaki Mochizuki could just be like a lot of history because he has such a long career. But that will determine, I think, the guest I get.
We also have a current world champion as the other one. So
with Io Sky, and I think for Io Sky, it's also like I gotta get WrestleMania to pass, and what's a good time to talk her, because it's also the issue with the ballot every year, especially this year with so many like rest of the world people, is finding good spaces to put people in. Because like of modern people, you literally have FTR, Mercedes Moné, Io Sky, and Drew McIntyre, and then everyone and that's like the more famous modern people, and then everyone else is like, who the heck is Ted Boy Marino? Who the heck is Steve Gray? Yeah. Who is a lot of people will say who's Los Infernales? Who is Masaki Mochizuki even? So it's a lot of that, So it's like figuring out where to place people. So doing like Drew McIntyre last month, Les Kellett this month, maybe like Masaki Mochizuki, who's Japan region but still modern to a certain degree. It might be a good idea, and then I would do like another modern person. So we'll see what happens there. Anyways, so the ballot will be out this Wednesday, assuming everything goes according to plan. And then I won't have another episode of Hustle Loyalty Retrospect the week after. I'm planning on having a bonus episode because WrestleMania weekend, I was like, let me just push it back. WrestleMania weekend's going to be crazy. Let's just push it back a week. Let's have a bonus episode that comes out and then we'll do all that. Plus, Best of the Bosch is around the corner. I'm telling you now, if you want to sign up, I'll tell you this right now, folks. I'll give you the skinny, as the kids used to say back in the 50s. If you want to join the Patreon, this is a great month to do it in April because there's a lot of content that's going to be dishing out, especially for WrestleMania weekend. Best of the Bosch is also around the corner. You're obviously going to get Hustle Loyalty Retrospect and all those past episodes and everything else we've ever done. So patreon.com/counterpod. That $5 tier is really great this month, especially. So we would appreciate it. And I will tell you now, if you time it right, if I'm looking at this, if you time it right, if you sign up for the Patreon,
now.
No. Oh, yes, right now. But if you wanted to,
don't tell people no.
if you wanted to, if you sign up for the 7-day free trial on April 16th, you will get the bonus episode for Hustle Loyalty Retrospect, whatever WrestleMania weekend bonus shows I record solo, the first episode of this season's of Best of the Bosch, and the latest episode of Hustle Loyalty Retrospect, episode number 4, where you can also listen to everything else in those 7 days. So that's April 16th to the 23rd. That's 7 days you can get for free if you sign up on April 16th and get all that audio for free. And if you like what you hear, we'd greatly appreciate it for you to stick around. $5 a month. It helps out a lot. And you'll get even more stuff and even more audio and a bunch of all the other audio that's ever been on the Patreon. Because I know it for a fact in May, because it's not going to happen in April, Scotty, but in May, we'll probably record our Ring Post Radio quarterly. So, because April is all over the place for us. So, so you also have that coming up in May, along with more content for Best of the Bosch and Hustle Loyalty Retrospect and all that stuff. So, patreon.com/counterpod, $5 tier. That is it from this week's episode of Ring Post Radio. We'll be back next week on Sunday, our usual morning time slot. And until then, we hope everyone has a good weekend, good week.
This show's going to be so long.
Hope you survive the stocks. And until next week, enjoy your Taco Bell.